Trading the foreign exchange market carries high risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Trading on margin, utilizing leverage can carry an even higher level of risk that can lead to a complete loss of investment funds. So before deciding to trade the foreign exchange market or using any of our software alert products, you should carefully and diligently consider your personal investment objectives, level of experience, and risk tolerance. There is a possibility that you could potentially sustain significant loss. You should not invest any capital or trade that you cannot afford to lose. It is your responsibility to be aware of and understand all risks associated with foreign exchange trading and to seek professional advice from an independent certified financial advisor if you have any doubts. Auvoria Prime does not exercise trading authority over your trades. You and you alone exercise discretionary trading authority over every trade.
And an update from yesterday's trade there, the NZD USD that we took, it finally hit take profit. Took all night.
Oh, I'm sure they were playing around in the market, buddy. They're trying to take people out of their trades, all left and right.
Yeah, well, I stuck to my guns, so I said, you know what?
You're
taking a trade and we're going.
That's funny. That's funny.
Yep.
I did that last night and woo wee. That was a crazy ride.
All right. Well, we had a couple nice trades this morning anyway. So let's go take a sneak peek. Is your screen working by any chance, Coach Mo?
Finally.
Really? Nice.
Yeah, we will see. We will see.
Yeah.
I made no promises.
Okay, well, we can't make promises nowadays.
My voice today sounds like Barry White.
I make none. All right, let me so I'm gonna get the pairs up that you guys trade.
Well, listen, if you see a nice setup on the indices.
Oh no, definitely. Hey, boy, we can
Hey, we're gonna make some money.
All day long.
Doesn't matter if I don't trade it. I know you trade it.
Oh yeah, all day, every day. Okay, hold on. Just trying to get the pairs that you guys load on your charts. If you guys have a pair that you guys want me to look at, please don't hesitate to say so. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's best just to throw it in the chat, actually.
And John came up with a question: is pound US going down?
Oh, let's go check on what time frame.
He didn't give us a time frame, but I bet it's the one we just looked at in the Hawkeye session, unless he got into it yesterday, if I'm correct. Did we look at the pound?
M15.
I just shut down my remote. There we go. Yeah, we looked at the pound US in the Hawkeye session just a moment ago for a buy, and I would assume it would go down before it goes up, but just my assumption where it's at.
And it did do that. It did just that.
Yeah, it broke a pretty strong trend line.
That's crazy.
So she broke on the way up, and then now she broke on the way down. So
I think they got word that we're using AIRO.
Yeah.
Huh?
I said, I think the market got word that we're using AIRO, and it was like, psych, y'all thought you were gonna win.
Yeah, I'm looking at this as a level on a level. I'm not too concerned yet. My stop is below those two levels. So if it tags me out, it tags me out. Just as much as it moved down, it can move right back up again.
Oh, absolutely. Because you can see that there's two support zones right here, on the M5. We trade on the M15, folks. M15. Mm-hmm. And let's look at, come on. Uh-oh, what we got? Sell. False.
Yeah, we're not selling that, guys.
Well, not today, we're not.
We're on an upward trend. So let's talk about this for a second. Y'all, we've got 30 pips to the zone. We took it from that little candle here. Let's see, what is it doing on the lower time frames? We're using peekaboo, people. Peekaboo. So it did tag that support. I'm very tempted that if it tags it again, doesn't break through and bounce it off, we might just ride this beauty queen up.
Oh, you might go long from there.
Yeah.
I like that. Coach Mo.
We did get the bounce, the arrow, and the go, but the market is trying to fake people out of their trades again. And we had that bounce arrow go. Let's see here. How many pips was that before it started to reverse? We would have got in here, draw down 6 pips, up 14. Most of y'all would have been still holding. Oh, shoot. This is a tricky trade, man.
Yeah, we did get a flip on British strength to the U.S. On all 4 time frames, so it could be starting to switch directions here. But I'm still inclined to think it may still bounce off of the 138.15 level, which is about where it's at right. It's a little bit below where it's at right now.
Right. And that's what I was saying. Like, if it bounces off the support, we might be able to just ride that up. What do you guys think? I'm liking to buy.
Yeah, you know how I am. I'm already in it.
Oh, you're already in it? Yeah,
yeah.
I'm liking to buy.
Yeah, I'm already in
I
it.
like that. I like that they reversed and they gave me a sniper entry. Plus, if you can see, I always throw a little RSI up into the mix just to kind of see what's going on. Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay. You're gonna push down a little bit more. What you want?
You're almost at your 30.
I know. Hold up.
So,
Hold your seat. This is a roller coaster, people.
Ed's asking about your settings for your RSI. What numbers do you have set on that thing?
I got a gazillion number. No, I'm just messing with you. I actually do. The reason why I have these numbers is because I've actually noticed some really cool things when it comes to the pairs. Woo! Oh!
all right. That's
okay,
fun.
sorry guys. I love this. Like I live and breathe 4X. Oh my goodness. This is fun. Okay. Anyways. So at the bottom I have 10, I have 25, 30, 50, 65, 70, 90.
90, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'm holding my breath for this trade. I want to get in, but I want that sniper.
Yeah, the deeper she goes, the better the entry.
Yes.
So it doesn't matter to hold it a little bit.
Exactly. And then that 20 pip, man. 20 pip. Out the wazoo. I'm confident it'll hit 20 pips on this one. Wow.
Hey guys, this is the pound US, just so you guys are aware. Some people say they're having a hard time seeing the screen.
GBP USD, people. GBP USD. If you were anything like me when I first got started, I was like, pound US, I don't know that. I know a symbol. GBP USD. Ooh.
We're coming down.
I know, but it popped back up, which means we might go up all the way up.
It's gonna take a couple more candles.
Dun, dun, dun. I know. It's gonna be just like here. You see how that push was so strong to the downside, but then to go up, it took several more candles. Same thing had happened, push down to the downside, up, So it has great strength on the downside. That's the crazy part. That is the crazy part.
This is fun.
And then when we get done with this one, Christine asked about the Euro Kiwi.
Okay.
1 hour chart. I'll check it over here to see what I see, but
yeah, that would be your baby in your zone there, Brian.
Yeah. Let's see what we got. I'll just give a verbal answer on it. And I'm assuming she's looking at a short. Man, oh man.
All right, that's a reversal.
I have no recent notice on anything. This one's a mess. I honestly, if I'm analyzing this thing, I would want to be short, but you've got on a bag strategy, you've got 4 support lines with 6 resistance lines. So I mean, obviously we would want to be short. If you would have gotten in, it looks like maybe earlier today or yesterday, you'd be probably meeting your mark. But if you just recently got a notification, there's not a whole lot of room before you're coming into a strong area of confluence where there's at 7130-ish. That's a major number. 71 30 is probably what I would say, where that's going to be the line in the sand for that particular pair to determine if it's going to continue down or up. A lot of noise. I'm not real fond on this one, to be honest.
Okay,
Time frame
what
on the
I'm doing
chart.
right now, this is why I like sniper entries, okay? So I'm gonna set my stop loss right underneath this wick, right? Because that was the lowest wick that I see.
So you just got long on pound.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yas. Yas. And then we're gonna take it for 20 pips. Give me a 20 pip move, baby. Guys, we might do a trailing stop. What you talking? This thing might go to the moon. So if you guys can see my screen, what I'm doing is I'm pushing up that TP to what it says on the screen for all you newbies is I'm gonna set it at 201. 201 means 20 pips, right? 20 pip take profit. And then I think my stop loss was like super low. But I'm confident that if this is a true support, this sucker is gonna go. Plus we're on, let's zoom out here. We're on an upward trend, right? So it does have a little bit more momentum to the upside. I do see this resistance zone. That's the reason why I'm not trying to ride it to the moon, because it has kind of been on a little bit of a decline for a bit here. But, you know, when it comes to the bag strategy, man, this was definitely a bag. This is definitely a bag right here. Bounce, arrow, go, right? So, yeah, all right. And then when we said NZD, what?
It was a euro kiwi on the 1 hour. It's a mess.
Oh, sorry. Okay, cool.
For a swing. For a swing.
I'm not.
There are other, I would say that there are better options out there for you guys than that one particular one.
Yeah.
Then we have, so no AIRO, not urgent, but you guys please analyze pound Aussie analyzation on different time frames. And the time frame question, I hope it was answered. Day trading types, scalpings on the 15-minute and lower, and then the swing that I use is 1 hour. I have done the 4 hour, but the 1 hour seems to be a little bit more active. So pound Aussie.
Okay, let me get that up. Don't trade major or minors. So
yeah, she just did the pound US buy. Absolutely.
Yeah, buddy.
And then Consuelo, I'll look at that swing trade, the US 30 for you. Let's see what I've got.
AIRO, come on. AIRO, go. All right. Okay, we're on an uptrend, people. So we're looking for a bounce, AIRO, upward go, right? We didn't get that. Oh no! Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, this is what happened last time. My VPS went down.
Yeah, you're fine.
Hold. Okay. All right. So go down to M15. What are we looking at? And we still don't have a bounce. AIRO to the upside. Okay. And I see you. Oh, this one. Ooh. If y'all would have got in earlier today, that would have been a bounce. AIRO go, because on the lower time frame, it is swinging to the low side, swinging downward. So that's interesting. Okay. Any more pairs, guys? We don't have any on that one though.
We've got a couple of people looking for the 1 hour chart.
Y'all see that? We in profit.
Yep.
Let's go. Dale. Y'all gonna have me singing some Spanish songs up in here. What you talking? All righty. Yeah, that's what I'm talking. 4 pips in profit. Okay. Anything else? Sorry, guys. I have fun when I'm trading. It's like a party. in my house every single time.
My VPS just froze, so I'm booting back up again.
No worries, no worries. I'm gonna look at the chat. Just kind of. Can you guys still see my RDP, like the arrow?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We see your screen. You're still good.
Okay, that's good because I'm looking. I'm trying to open up the chat box so I could see what's going on in the chat room.
So the question was about the, I think it was the US 30. Obviously, that's the SPX on Envy that I'm using. We just did get a buy signal. Again, I'm not giving any sort of financial advice, but this has the appearance of wanting to kind of turn back down a little bit overall. Even though we got to buy AIRO and we are in an uptrend, the overall picture on a 1 hour chart seems to want to look like it wants to flatten out just for a bit. And we got resistance right above there. I wouldn't jump yet.
Ryan,
I would be jumping.
I don't see the screen. What you talking?
I didn't want to take over your screen because I had it on a 1 hour.
Okay,
we're
but
talking.
that's okay because like if you're explaining something, like I'm a visual person, so I want to see.
Yeah, I'll show. I can share my screen if you want me to. Absolutely.
Let's do this, Brian. Let's do this. And yes, whoever said it's a party, it sure is a party. Your girl is 5 pips in profit. Let's do this.
So host has disabled participant screen sharing. So apparently Matt does not want me to do this. We're going to blame Matt. Everybody, let me give you his email address, and I want you to pound him and say, "Hey."
Yeah, it's working. It's working. Relax. It's working.
All right. You guys should be seeing my screen. This is the, y'all seeing my screen?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So this is the S&P 500 on the 1 hour US 30. Looking at this thing, you can see when we're looking at this, you got this nice move and then it started flattening out. Then it fell apart. We got this parabolic move, then it kind of flattened out. Now we got another parabolic, and we had this strange thing happen right here. So the buyers to me are still in control, but you're sitting with resistance right here. So if I was ever going to be a buyer back at this, I would be doing it around the 3,900 mark, somewhere in this area. Because if we were to take a horizontal line and fight, there's a couple places that my eyes go to when I do a horizontal line right there. That's a place that price seems to be, and it just happens where I put it. When I used to do mutual fund type stuff, we never really paid attention to the nickels and dimes. We would normally deal with quarters. So in this case, I just happened to drop a line at 38.50, which would be a quarter. And so that's a line where price has seemed to be bouncing from, reacting from. That would be my first place that I'd be paying attention to as far as a longer term swing. But when I come back in here, there's another line right here that you probably historically can go back and determine. And if you look at our spacing right now, and this is all how it all comes together. Again, I ended up dropping it at a whole number, 38.96. You can call it 3,900 if you want. But look at the spacing where current price is and our lines that we've drawn. And you'll find that inside of chaos, there's always some sort of order, because what people call chaos, other people see as order. And I see this as very, very organized. So where I would be a buyer is right here where our support is. I wouldn't be buying high. That would be like me going to a car dealer and saying, "Hey, let me buy your most expensive car," even though they'll sell it to me cheap. So I would be waiting a bit. I would wait just a bit. I still think it's going to go up.
That's the sauce. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you for sharing your screen.
Don't worry. Let me get out off of that.
Yeah. That was good because you know what? I have heard that the banks like to, use whole.
They're lazy.
Yeah, they like to use whole numbers. So
yeah. Now there were times where we go dimes, but we very rarely go nickel.
Right.
We don't. We rather get our job done by noon and go play golf.
There you go.
And the headache that they already know where price is going. They know where orders are sitting. They already know where you are. They're just waiting for it to do its thing.
Right.
And they say it's manipulated. I think it's manipulated to some extent, but I also believe they know the rules of the game. And the reason it seems manipulated is because most retail traders don't know the rules of the game. So it feels like it's manipulated.
Right. Yes. I love it.
Hopefully that was a visual help.
A little. That was great.
Yeah, it's the only thing we do in life where we're looking to get the most expensive. We go to the grocery store with coupons. We always whittle down the auto dealers, but when we get in the market and we see something going, we're so scared of missing it that we buy it expensive.
Oh my goodness, guys, my my AIRO, my BBS is starting to lag again because I'm trying to open up all my G pairs that we trade on AIRO to be able to identify. Guys, Nathan has said that if 4 out of the 6 G pairs are trending in the same direction, that means that your trade is going to be a lot stronger. Okay. The only G pair I can see, can anybody open up their G pairs that we trade on AIRO and look to make sure that all of them are trending, upward? The reason why I say that is because of the GA trending down, it doesn't mean that we're not gonna that we will lose this trade. It doesn't mean that, but it just makes
I froze up again.
6 pairs going in stronger.
Hey, Coach,
Let's
the G pairs are
I'm just trying
trending
to
down
figure out
right
if I want
now.
to hold this trade. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, G pairs
I'm
look like
already
they're
in.
downward.
Yeah, all the
That's
G
funny.
pairs are going down, Mo.
Oh,
Besides
shoot.
the yen, all the G pairs are
Oh
going down.
man, y'all see this?
You may want to be looking for a wedge bounce off this British US. It came down, broke the wedge, came back up. It's retesting the wedge right now that it broke.
Mm,
And we're still showing weakness on the pound.
so you're saying it could come up to anywhere from 138.40.
Well,
and
no, I'm
then
saying it could probably maybe drop and retest that last bounce it just had.
right.
The British pounds the weakest on the chart against the what was that, a British US? Yeah, the dollar's just a little bit stronger. It's kind of fighting for last place between the pound and the US dollar right now.
I think we lost Coach Mo. Let me
It
see
did
what's
get
up.
really quiet for a second. That's funny.
Hold on.
Well, we're in profit on the entry still for the pound US long. So we're close to take profit. We'll get her back in. Let me make sure we're nothing pound. I see Sylvia said something about pound kiwi. We had opened the trade in the session with Nate. I'm assuming it's on the 15. Let me see if I can figure out. Probably a short then. I'm guessing. If you're short the pound kiwi, then I would be looking to take profit at this point. If it's a 15-minute chart, because you're coming into support, I would expect that you would have a bounce from there. You got a couple levels there. Again, that line, if you look at the current price, it's sitting at a price point of 90.75. And that, again, that's an institutional type quarter number. I'm not saying it always reacts there, but my voice is so low today. I'm not used to sounding like a real man. It's kind of nice. And I just realized we're on a recording, so now everybody can hear this later on. That's crazy. Al, you there?
I'm here.
You agree with the? Are you looking at the kiwi, pound kiwi at all?
I'm looking at the pound US. I can look at the pound kiwi. Let me see.
No, you don't have to. I was just going to verify what I was thinking. I'm just trying to make sure we go through Sylvia's question. I'm assuming it was a short, and on a 15-minute, I would. That looks like it'd be earlier and that should have already hit your target, I would guess. I don't have the John. I don't have the NAS 100 on my 1 hour. I'm not sure. Al, what is that on the MVFX? Do you know NAS 100?
NAS 100. I mean, US Tech is the NASDAQ is where I usually do it as the. It could be the NQZ to 2020. No, that's not right. The US Tech, USTEC
I don't
is
have that. Yeah, I
the
don't have that.
NASDAQ that I look at.
Yeah, I don't have that chart up, John. And correct, Garvin said that pound euro. Yeah, they kind of do trade in correlation. Although since Brexit, it's kind of been a little bit more sporadic. It used to be when we first started a number of years back that the pound was just a faster version of the euro, but that's not quite as tight as it used to be. Then we're talking about urgent. No, please analyze pound Aussie in the different time frames. Let me start with 15. I saw this one earlier, but my VPS is moving slow. So let's see if we can pull this thing. Man, oh man. Obviously, with the pound, is anybody sharing the screen? Let me share mine just so we can.
Yeah.
It may be a little slow, guys, but let me go ahead and share so I can give you a visual of what I'm seeing. Questions on the pound Aussie. Obviously, if we back this thing out, we get a better picture of what it's doing. And you can see, again, we're range bound in a lot of regards. Here's your high, here's your low. It's kind of in this box. So we're at a critical point, but a lot of noise back here to the left. Always look to your left. Left is key. I would have loved to have caught this one. Again, but we didn't know what greens were sitting in here because as they've been broken through, they disappear. So, but we do know there's nothing down here. So if this thing happens to break, this would probably be a potential breakout type move on the downside. That's on the 15-minute. Let me just quickly make it a 1 hour and see what it looks like if I can pull it off like that.
It looks like the pound Aussie, basically the strength to the Aussie with the pound Aussie.
You agree, yeah. And this is what I was talking about on the 15-minute. We said we were range bound and we're sideways, but we're coming into an area. There's still the overall push on this is still up with the overall trend. It's just noisy. You want clear air. This is clear air up here. Unless you're being a buyer, and down in here would be fine. But again, if I'm buying, I love this area of support, but I would do it where this first arrow came in right here. I'd be getting at the bottom, right around the 77.30-ish. That's where I would want to go in. But again, the recent trend would be on the downside because it looks like it's kind of flowing over. Overall, we're on the up, but we are starting to break. And that's why I said we're kind of in a sideways look. We'll go ahead and break that over there. I think we've got that answer. We'll make sure, yeah, we got that one answered. And then let me go over here and look at our chat box to make sure what you say about pound. Let me see about pound Kiwi on the 15. Pound Kiwi on the 15. Again, we're not predicting what the price is going to do. You only get what you, there's no way to predict the future of what's going to happen. It's the same picture to me as the pound Aussie. Those two pairs operate very similar, except the pound Kiwi seems to be a little bit faster. If I were looking at this to be on a side, again, clear air. Obviously, this is the origination of the move. This move right here was the original. This was somewhat of a pullback. This is the origination of this entire move here. I would love to see this, but I would love to see it kind of come down here, flatten out, let the moving average catch up, give us another bounce, let price go by the moving average and move on up, get us away from this resistance area, get us down to here, be flat for a little bit, and then take it up. That's what I would. That's probably what I would do.
Jesse, I think we lost Coach Mo. We're gonna try and catch her again.
She's a lot more happy in the mornings than I am. Although I'm usually at school by 6, so this is very unusual for me.
That's fine. I'm gonna.
I kind of like it. I like.
Yeah.
I like talking to adults more than 4th graders today. It's a very good feeling. I love my
What did you say on NAS 100, my friend? Like, I like it long. I like it if
I don't have that chart, so I couldn't make an estimate.
Oh, I get you. Like,
so you can take that one.
Yeah, if we see like a break of like 1376, it could consolidate there for a little bit, and then if it breaks through there again and goes through 137.80, then you could have some pretty nice skies for the next little bit. There's no telling how far this thing could move up, but if it does break below, I got a trend line here. I'm not sharing my screen though, so I have to apologize on that. But if it breaks below the moving average and you got an arrow to the downside, then I wouldn't take this short at all. So it would have to break that red zone there on the 1 minute over S&P 500. Oh, you're on S&P. My bad.
I'm on S&P 500 1 hour, and there's two options. I really like. I would not mind taking a breakout move once it clears that resistance.
That red zone, yeah.
My red line below.
No, it's brilliant.
That's what I would do. But again,
yeah. So this one for US 100, I'm just gonna sit on it until we get another arrow. It's not really where I play ball usually, so I tend to stick to the 4x pairs.
And I don't know what everybody discusses in this particular session. I would always be cautious of moving stops and targets unless a picture changes. And then because what ends up normally happening with especially new traders is they'll keep a trade longer than they should, and they'll shorten a trade too fast and get out too fast. And so be careful. Make sure when you move your stop or you're trailing or whatever you assume to do. I only trail. I never move my stop further away because if I've gotten in trade for a reason, I already know my max, and so I let it be there. But I have trailed. As far as take profit, I will move my take profit if the picture changes. So I will move it further away, and I'll do a trailing stop. Or if something changes, I will bring it down. And usually for me, because I'm just, if it's not working out, if I see I need to move my take profit, I normally just get out and then reestablish a position at a later time. Sylvia, you mentioned the pound yen. What time frame are you wanting that on? 15. Okay.
I'm going to step away for a couple minutes. Coach Mo's system crashed, so she's going to try to get in the next little bit.
No worries, and I'll hang tight. Al, you have the ability to share your screen as well if something happens here.
Yep, I'm here. Yeah, keep on hanging in there. Keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah. I just
I'll take over.
Mine's slow too. And we'll just take a look as we're allowed to. Ooh, okay. That's the beauty about AIRO. You're analyzing so many different pairs that you can really quickly look at something and say no. And this is one that I would quickly say no to right off of a 15-minute chart, at least initially. Let me dig in a little bit deeper. Let me do some of my normal stuff. Okay. I know that's a little far away, so let me fix that. If it'll let me. Al, does this platform not let you drag?
It does. It's just not real user friendly. What are you trying to drag?
I'm trying to drag the red down to a more reasonable place.
You have to double click on the line and get a little dot on the end. Like click. And you'll see a little white dot on the end of your.
Yeah. You got an alert on EuroCAD. We'll come back to the pound yen. Let's see what EuroCAD's doing. This thing is really just moving really slow. EuroCAD. And then we'll come back to the pound yen. Let's see what the actual alert is. And occasionally I'll be muting guys because I'm coughing.
Looks like we have an up arrow and a downtrend is what it looks like. Right.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Just from this little window out, it's the same. I'm seeing the same thing.
No trade there.
We'll break it open, but I'm not loving it. Just from
No.
That's the nice thing is you can usually tell, like this Aussie Swiss. I would love to have seen that alert and been on top of that. So Euro CAD. Yeah, Al called it. Yeah, you would not want to be long on this currently.
No, that's a no trade.
I would have no problem being long if we can clear this out and then come back to an area of support and then move up. But as of right now, that's a no trade. Too much noise up front. Let's see if I can jump back to that yen pair real quick. Pound yen.
Pound yen should be.
Yeah, we
pretty
were
much
just
the pound-
analyzing
yeah,
it.
The pound and the yen are pretty much neck and neck with who was fighting for last place. So neither one are strong compared to the other. So it's probably going sideways.
And you can tell you got all the arrows happening at the same general area. This is when I see this with arrow, I don't trade it at all. I want this kind of movement. I have nothing really left. Now, this is not bad back here. But when you start having up, down, right like this, I just stay away from it until there's a clear direction.
Especially when you're in the money zone like this. So like we're in the money zone, it's going back and forth. And you can just see where it's just bouncing back and forth between that red and the green zone. And it's
Look where, and Al's, he's saying, look at this current gray line that goes all the way across. Look what happened left the last time it was here and right here. So this area of 144.75, again, we're talking quarters, is a key area. You can look at price just doesn't know what it wants to do with it. Do we want to stay on top of it or do we want to go and look what I hear it? Try to get up here. That's a key area. And remember, your yen pairs love the quarters and whole numbers. That's a personality trait of the yen pairs. So yeah, this is not the place to necessarily make a decision based on this. If this wasn't all here, I would, just like when it cleared this one, this would have been a nice one because this would not have been here yet. And you would have made it all the way just before the last arrow, pretty much. Interesting pair for sure. Yeah, right. Probably in this area. Yeah. Once this was established, though, this resistance area up here, we call it supply. That's my group of traders. We call this as area of supply where orders were left unfilled and it's moved away. Once this was established, if your entry was in this area, I would be almost in a mindset of getting out until it, and take whatever small loss or small profit you can get until the picture gets clear again. Yeah. That's the problem with a lot of traders. We want to make sure we're either in, we're all in, and sometimes the picture changes, but you can always get back in.
Hey, Brian, there's a question in the chat box if you have time. Show how to change the price, the take profit or the stop loss of a trade once you're already in the trade.
Okay, let me go over to one that I'm in. I'm in demo, guys, so I play around with this a lot. So let me go.
You could just grab one of those that you have already open, and then
buy into it.
No, you just want to change the take profit or the stop loss. You're already in the trade.
That's what I'm saying. I'm going to open one of these that I'm in.
So you could just do right off that.
See? Oh, and you're talking about manually or dragging?
That's just
dragging. You can change it by dragging, or you can come in here, and if it'll let me do it, double click.
It'd be right click. It'd be right click and pull up and then you can just change it right in those little windows there.
Yeah. And this 400 represents 40 pips. This 200 represents 20. Now, Al, have we shared our position calculator with this group yet?
It has been approved. They're working on how to be able to allow it be distributed. I have showed it to them the other day. You may want to show it again.
Sure.
It says Brian's one of the creators of this thing.
Let me close this out. Got my Facebook going on. Got it ready, everything ready to work. Look at all the noise that I've been doing.
I'll keep an eye on the chat while you're doing this.
No worries. So guys, we're going to just to play around.
Yeah, Michael, did that answer your question? Michael, did that answer your question about the how to change your take profit and your stop loss on your open trades? Hopefully.
And is Mariska still in the room? Because if she gives me permission, I can put this thing in the chat box for everybody.
They want to make it available through the back office is what they're trying to do.
Through the back. Okay, so okay, cool.
Yeah, that way they want people to spend more time in the back office to see what's there.
Makes sense.
And so
Yeah,
that's kind of what they want to do on that.
So what Al and I did is we created this little calendar or chart position sizing, because most traders have no idea, or they'll get a calculator that's not significant to them that actually tells them the truth of what's going on. A lot of the new traders that come into Auvoria Prime or anywhere, any type of trading group, don't even understand what pip value is. So understand that every pair does not operate the same way at the same price. So when we're looking at the Aussie US, notice it's $10. If you had a standard lot, it's $10 per pip move. And so a lot of traders, a lot of your more refined traders will not mess with pairs like the Aussie CAD or the Aussie Kiwi, because a 20 pip move doesn't pay them the same as a 20 pip move on the Aussie US. So what we did, and you can eliminate some of your pairs if you want. And on the flip side of that, guys, if you lose on the Aussie CAD, it doesn't cost you as much as a loss on the Aussie US. So you can also position size. You could trade them to where they're almost identically the same based on a few calculations. So what we did is we created this chart of all of our pairs that we would be regularly considering, as well as a US Tech, US 500, DJ 30, gold and silver, and then the Singapore dollar. And we put all their recent current pip values. Now, these do adjust from time to time. They do change a little bit from here and there, and we'll make adjustments as we go. I'll keep an eye on them every 3 months or 4. So you guys that are Auvoria Prime members will have the most up-to-date type stuff. But basically, let's just say I have I put little key notes in here for you guys to tell you what it is. Everything in yellow you can adjust. Anything outside of yellow you cannot adjust at all. It's going to be all done for you. So let's standard value. So if I want to go over here and come to the drop down list, and let's just talk pound US or pound yen. We were just talking about that one. I just click on pound yen. It changes it to its pip value. And let's just say I have an $1,000 account that I want to use. And I'm a little bit more risky. I'd rather risk 3% of my account on any one trade. I know that my stop will always be 40 pips using bags. It tells me the proper position size at 0.08 to maximize the trade as far as profitability. And you already know what your risk is going to be, $30. So it's going to maximize your potential of, so that's why I never move my stop. Now, if I do decide to move my stop up from 40, because prices moved away, then I'm lowering my risk value, obviously, and I'm not moving. I can move my target and do trailing. So there's all sorts of stuff that you can do, but it carries everything. It gives you the ability to understand every pair and the potential that you have if you're a risky trader. There are traders in our trading group that are no problem doing a 5% risk per trade. Now that tells me that they're going to have to be correct more often because if they're wrong, but you can really make a solid, if you understand your value of risk and you understand the proper position sizing, then you'll understand that a 20 pip move every day can make you a living with the right account. Jesse, they said it's going to be in the back office at some point. Mariska would rather have this. I was going to put it in the chat box, but I'm going to go with the leadership of Auvoria Prime. We've already submitted it to them. They've already approved it. So at some point it will be on the back office for you guys to download and use and access. I think it's a huge tool. Al and I, and along with Eva, got in, and Al and I started this thing, and we really nailed it down, added some things that I don't even trade because we knew that Auvoria Prime traders do. And again, it's not anything you still need to understand the risk that you're taking, but most people don't. They'll just put a 0.02 in there and they don't understand what that means. 40 pips at a 0.02, they don't really understand what the cost of that would be. They're more worried about the profit when you really should be paying more attention about how much am I willing to risk to make that profit. So yeah, very cool. hopefully that helps. So keep an eye. We'll make sure that Hawkeye session, that's where we'll see it. You'll see it a lot. And I'm sure this session as well, we'll be using it a lot more. And we'll make sure that we let everybody know where this can be found in the back office. Yeah. Thank you, guys. We do, Al and I think all the time about what do our traders need. We spent many years doing that. We've led another group before. I love this trade. This trade is going to be profitable for me. Again, I'm in demo. Pretty much what I do is with my swing trading and my day trading currently is I'm building data. And because I'm a 4th grade teacher, I can't always do the 15-minute chart. But I'm building data. I take almost every signal that comes through that even looks close, because I want to know that I can be in a winning percentage, and a certain winning percentage. And once I get to that winning percentage, then I can start drilling down to actually being a rule-based strategy. Where can I open the alerts window again if I accidentally close them? Al, that's going to be a question for you. There you go. Experts tab on the bottom.
Let me see the question here.
It says, where can I open alerts window?
The the alert, if you close the alert windows out, you have to wait for the next alert. But if you go to your experts tab, you can see the whole list of the
I'm trying to click on it now too. So
yeah, you could do that then. Right there, you'll see a whole list of, you
group.
can see where the alerts were, and but you have to wait for the next alert to come up before it. I mean, if you X out of the alert box,
there you go.
It won't show up until the next alert comes in.
Next pop, yeah. You got.
We have some US Tech, but that's on like on 1 minute. I've seen that on 1 minute chart. I got to change that.
Al, you're here more in the mornings than I am. Is this group normally this responsive to where they answer each other's questions for them? That's pretty helpful. I'm not used to that, man.
Not looking at the chat box. I got people doing that for me.
That's nice. I love the fact that we got people who are willing to help.
Yeah, that's nice.
It's not always that way, guys. We have some rooms that we lead that it's pretty much nobody knows the answers to. So it's always us. So yeah, if you know an answer to somebody's question, definitely put it in the chat box. Thoughts on S&P, the S&P 500 on what time frame? Overall picture, I think that's Rashawn. I think that's probably how you would say that, or close. And hopefully I may have already covered that, but we'll put it. I'll give you my perspective on it just on a 15 and a 1. Let me bring that up and I'll clear these out. This same picture. Yeah, I think we're going to be moving up. I wouldn't necessarily get in. This is the one we talked about. I would be a buyer down here around the 3,900 range. Unless I get another arrow and this would clear out. I don't like this resistance here where if you notice we had parabolic move, flat, and now we're just kind of flattening out. It almost looks like it wants to come on down, but I still think there's power in it. So that's just on a short-term basis. Look at a 1 hour chart and see what it does. Let's see if it changes the overall look. I like high time frame stuff. This is a parabolic move. I like being a buyer down here. I'm not much into buying high. And I like this line right here. That would be the 3850 area-ish. I mean, there's all sorts of places you can go with that. That's the S&P. So I'm going to mark that one done. What about the euro yen for a buy breaking through resistance now? Let's go. I'm assuming that's on, Sean, that you're going to be talking about the 15-minute chart. If it's not, let me know. I'll look at the euro yen here real quick. I'm liking the fact that my thing seems to be picking up. There's no signal to go long. This would not be the normal that I would go with bags. Not that I wouldn't do it on another strategy. But for me, there's no signal here on the 15 for me to be, here's one that's coming through. We'll find out what that is. But there's nothing for me to say, yeah. And this very well could be just to go up and fall right back down again. Again, you're buying high. I would want a little bit more clear reason, excuse me, a little more clear reason to be along on this. And now if we're looking at a different time frame, that could be giving me the very, very reason. I'm not sure what the alert is, Al. Did your alert come up?
I got the alert that I got was the U.S. Tech, the Nasdaq. I got an alert for the Nasdaq and the S&P.
Pound yen,
Even though they were
guys.
both going sideways.
Pound yen just came on.
Yep, pound yen. Yep,
What do
that's
you
the
know?
one.
And now I'm kind of waiting for this to catch back up. So hang
Oh,
tight.
mine's frozen. Okay.
I can tell mine's still just waiting to catch up. So my frozen looks a little, now it's going on the sell side. That's kind of what we were talking about. That it didn't look quite right. Let's bring it up and see what it says.
Looks like the pound US had a nice little pullback, but looks like it's doing still bouncing off some of these support zones. So just be aware
For
of
me,
those.
I don't know what Matt and Al and the rest of the gang say about this. For me, it's a no-go because we're sitting inside of support.
Let's see, we are looking at looks like it's this is pound yen we're looking at.
Yeah, pound yen.
Let me take a look at it here on mine.
That's just my perspective. I'm sitting right where I would be getting in. I would much rather see me take it at the 144.75.
We have to scroll in to make sure we have our trend right on this one. Looks like it's in an uptrend, pretty decisively in an uptrend.
Mm-hmm.
And it's bouncing off that zone. So it's an uptrend with the down arrow. That's a no-go.
Nice, Jesse. That's a no-go for me, really. Just a lot of noise. A lot of noise.
All right.
Let's see what I got here. So I've got now Kiwi yen. Let me try to get that question looked at. Michael's question is, how can we still change a trade's take profit when it's already on? I drag the line. That's what I do. If I'm already in a trade, I just get on the line, get the arrow, drag it to where I want it to go, and then drop it in. NZD yen.
All right, just got an update. Because of the significant increase in our customer base, we're now at the point where we're going to bring in another company as well to help manage the load of the VPS.
Yeah, that's good. Growing pains, man.
Okay, guys, growing pains.
Good news and bad news.
Well, it is what it is, right?
Yeah.
So that's just hot off the press. So that's as good as you're going to get for now.
And Alar, I think that's how I hope. I apologize if I'm mispronouncing your name on the yen, the Kiwi yen. Yeah, I think it's going long, but I don't know when it's going to turn back up. If I was a buyer, I'd be a buyer right here where the arrow's at. If you're already in, then just ride it just short of the resistance. Yeah, it looks like you're long. That would be where I would assume it would go. Again, there's no way we can forecast. I mean, so many things can happen. We here in the States, we have the Biden effect. A pin can wipe out a lot or put in a lot. And, the world economy is doing kind of the same thing. I read more of the central banks of Australia because of what they do. It's kind of the same piece that the Kiwi does, the China effect for them. So, yeah, I think they're going to go long overall, for at least for a short while, until the export-import numbers just don't make sense at their price, and then they'll force it down again. That's that one. Hopefully that was.
Yeah, I think just based on my experience in IT and stuff, I think we pushed that one company to the point that we need so much more resources and whatnot. Like we need more VPSs to be able to handle the load of customers, because the exponential growth that this company has had in the last 30 days is just unheard of.
Right. That's it. That's
like
exactly
one team by itself, just one team has signed up over 2,000 people.
Whoa.
Just one team.
That's not Trade Masters yet.
No, that's next time. That's next month, bro.
Will be the next announcement. Hey guys, I've got a lot of questions. I'm going to just answer them all at once. Thank you guys for putting in the chat box. Currently, that worksheet is just for the calculators, just for USD. However, let me put my brain on this and see if I can create a euro version and a pound version.
That's funny. I never thought about that one.
I never thought about that, but let Al and I, and maybe even Matt can jump in because he's in Canada. He has a different perspective than us in the States, since everything's for us is based in dollars. He can give us some insight, but give us some time and let us think about how that looks. I would be thrilled if I can put it in different currencies to where
You know
it
what?
makes sense.
We definitely could. It's not going to be 100% exact because the currencies fluctuate, of course.
Right.
So
But a guide.
It's going to be a guide, and it would be just a simple calculation based on the US dollar and where the British pound is at the moment. And then we could even do it for Aussie, because now with NVFX,
Right.
You can have even different base currencies for your account. Like myself, I run a Canadian account because I trade in Canadian dollars. So yeah, Mark, that would be
There were several of them that had that same type of question.
okay. Perfect then.
Yeah, so that's why we would, and we'll put our three heads together and see what we can come up that will give you somewhat of a guide. How do I get that window back in which I can modify my trade? So if you're in a trade, let me go over a couple of ways you can do this. I'm gonna bring up one that I'm in just so it looks like what you would normally want to do, because I can bring up a chart and it doesn't make any sense. Let's go ahead and go Aussie CAD again. So let's just say I'm on this trade right now and I really like the up potential of this thing. And I think it's going to go a little bit more and I want to do a trailing stop. Here's what I would do. I'd get my arrow up here. I would drag it up. Now this is dangerous to do because I'm not really looking left, but I'm just going to put it right there a little bit further up. But because I've already moved as far as I've moved and I don't want it to come back down, I could also pull my stop in to lower my risk as well. And I just drag and drop. That's one way. The second way to do this is to come over to that pair, right click, modify or delete the order, and then type it in to the appropriate spot that you want to drag and drop your.
And then click the bar at the bottom after you get it set.
Yeah, this will turn color. This right now it's gray. This will turn color, and then you just tap it on that. Yeah. Let's see. Hopefully that answers that question. I'm gonna let Matt get on that one because I'll answer the next one first. Hawkeye session starts at 7:30 Eastern. It's still, we are Matt and I, myself, Eva, Christine jump in there when I'm available, and we are technical analysis. Whatever software we may be using, we use AIRO a lot right now, but we also look at IRIS and anything that's out there, and we provide traders with the ability to get a technical analysis. You remember I was drawing lines earlier of where price action happens. That's a technical analysis type thing. I would also, for me, I would share Fibonacci numbers, and I don't use them the traditional way or from a high to low. I actually have them plotted stationary on a screen. True technical analysis while we make money at the same time. That's kind of how I would describe the Hawkeye session. And you can find that in the back office as well. Open to anybody that's Auvoria Prime. But it goes from 7:30 to 9 Eastern, then we jump into here.
Yeah, get on the Telegram, the official Hawkeye Telegram.
Yeah, let me do that.
Give you the links and
if I can find them. Let me find Bill. Bill had it up here before. Y'all can see my screen. Bill gave it. I've got it in here somewhere.
Perfect. While you're doing that, I'm going to get on to the BTC, huh?
That's exactly what I was going to hope you were going to do, because I know nothing about it.
All right.
Let me share my screen.
Yep. So for the sake of our sanity, I'm going to do it on TradingView. So this is what we got. So we got rally. We got basing right here. Like it's coming down. We're consolidating, because when you have a big run up, you're going to have a consolidation before it continues going up or reverses. So right now it's going to have some trouble getting past the 48,400. Oh, we got lots of questions all of a sudden. So let's just take a quick look here. Okay, we talk a little, excuse me, a little bit about wedges every once in a while. So myself, this is what I'm looking at. The reason I drew this wedge as such is I'm looking at this bottom here as the origination where that that is there. And then we got a tag here. And now we're going to take this out, make a little wedge formation. We got a top here, a top here. So now we're just going to wait and see what's going to happen. Either it's going to break this trend line and then come back down and then potentially come back up, or it's going to break this trend line. And I'm going to, before I take it long, right now I'm long. I got a small position long. I got in down here. So earlier this morning when I saw it come down and pull back, that was a 38.2 retracement of this entire move up. So if we go down here, we take this here, we'll take this up here. It was a 23.6 retracement. It went a little bit lower. That's fine. Once it broke the 23.6 retracement, I was in there, and now I'm getting a little bit of heat on that position, but I'm really not worried. I position sized myself so that my actual stop loss in this one right here for this run is actually down here beyond the 61.8. I gave myself lots of room, very low risk, and I don't see it coming back down here before it continues up. But if it does, I'm still fine. But if I was to enter at this point, maybe there would be a bounce here to potentially enter, you know, the third hit on the trend line. And this is where you could potentially look for your target. You go from the top of the wedge to the bottom. You could either go up and make a higher high to about 49, or depending on where it breaks, you can make a low 46,272 and then potentially continue up. So I hope that brings a little bit of clarity. And
just keep your chart there just for a second. Can you go to just, I know, because I know what Bitcoin, can you go to a daily chart for me?
yes, sir.
I know you don't do Bitcoin on daily, but the
Oh,
question.
no, I know people that do because it's significant, man. Oh, yeah. Okay, let's blow this up.
Squeeze the bottom. Yeah, squeeze.
Yeah,
the
let's squish it
bottom
up.
of the side. Yeah, squeeze them. So David had a question. What do I mean by parabolic?
Yep.
Squeeze it up as much as you can. You may have to go on a weekly basis too.
You want weekly?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to show them what a parabolic move looks like.
All right. Let's go.
So notice the last 7-8 candles kind of had that. It was going at a nice 45 to 60 degree angle up. Then all of a sudden it broke that 60 degree angle for a period of time. We had a little flattening out of that. That is a parabolic move. Normally a parabolic move will form a wedge of some sort, but it also forms a top, at least temporarily. And what travels fast, down or up parabolically, normally can recuperate just as fast. So it's as if you had a major gap. It's going to fill those orders, because what happens is there are people who put orders in. It used to be done by paper. Now it's all digitally, but you place an order at a certain price, a specific price. And if the price blew past that, that order does not get filled. It's still sitting there, and you have this big move forward. And then the market kind of slows itself down, and it usually comes back to that basing area where he's put his wedge at. And so that key area would be right around the 32.5 area, my guess.
Yeah, it would be
right smack in the
where
middle.
it retested.
Yeah. So you would have a strong parabolic move up. Normally, you don't want to be buying at the top of a parabolic move, because especially when you don't know what the high is, there's no support, resistance line or supply being shown there. So you're buying an expensive car as expensive as you can get, instead of waiting for that same car at a much more reasonable price. And it still could very well go up to that price. It's just you're going to get in at a better opportunity.
And you're going to make more pips. You're going to make more pips by taking the retracement.
Right. Breakouts are good. If you would have caught that wedge on the breakout, that's fair. That's a fair place to get in as well.
Look at this, guys. I want to show you something on the 30. Okay, check this. So I'm going to line this up a little bit better because I drew this on the daily. All right, so let's look at this just for 30 seconds, and then we're gonna go take a look at some charts. I want to show you something else here real quick. You got another wedge here. Okay, so you're gonna have wedges inside of wedges. So once you have a break of this wedge, this trend line here, this downward trend line, that's your trade.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's your breakout. And we
That's
have
a parabolic move. Come on a 30-minute chart. That big, huge candle movement is a big parabolic move. And then notice how it's flattening out at the top. At least
I want to drop one more thing, and then I'll stop sharing. This moving average cross is an exponential moving average. It's the 13 crossing the 62. You see how it crossed right after it broke the wedge? Very often when it breaks the wedge and you have that cross, that's a confirmation that's going to continue going in the same direction. That is a monster move. I did not take it. I'll put that right out there. But that moving average cross means momentum is in the upward side. So that is a confirmation for me specifically. You see how it crossed and then we're down. And then one more thing. I don't want to be too long-winded because I got some feedback about that last time.
Oh, sorry.
You guys are mean.
It's funny.
I like talking, and I like what I do. This is the best
You're just
thing
very
in the entire
enthusiastic.
world.
You're just very enthusiastic.
Yeah.
Oh, I love life. Here, look, guys. So here's your stick. Here's your wedge. Here's your breakout. Boom. Target. So
This kind of goes along the lines that we talked about earlier. A lot of new traders come in and all they see is a bunch of chaotic moves when really it's not. You just don't.
There's this is not chaotic. You want to see how chaotic this is? Check this out. Here, talk to me about that.
Ebb and flow.
Right? So break, boom, and you got a break. Check this out. And then I'll stop there because I don't want to lose anyone. Boom. That's a really, look at this. You got your basing right here. Boom. Amazing target. That's a 10, it's like $5,000 move. Anyway, let's move on.
All right, Al, this one's for you.
Uh-huh.
I wouldn't know because I don't use this platform to do any sort of charting on. Scott White asked if, and by the way, I like his last name. He asked, how do you add an RSI to the chart? I don't use RSI and I don't know how
to the trading view, to the MT4 platform.
MT4, yes.
Because I have no idea.
You sharing that? Who wants to share here?
You can if you want.
Anybody who knows how to do it.
All right, hang on. Let me get my chart
Guys,
up
you might want to look at Euro Kiwi real quick before you.
Let's do it. The
Euro
first thing to
Kiwi.
do is to make money and then learn.
That's right.
Did we get an announcement on Euro Kiwi?
I didn't see one.
Yeah, we did.
On which
On a
what time
15?
frame?
Yep.
I didn't get it.
Really? Yeah, I didn't get it either.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything.
Got
What
a
would you get, Charles?
downward arrow on Euro Kiwi M15.
And that arrow just happened?
Yep.
Well,
just
yeah,
happened.
I do not have
I don't
that.
have that.
But let me show my
Are you
charts.
guys? Are any of you guys on Envy?
I'm on
I'm
Envy,
not.
yeah.
I'm not
I'm
using.
on Envy.
That's weird because
yeah,
I'm on
that is
Envy
weird.
too.
What version are you using of Arrow?
The new one, 3.1.
Okay, so you got 3.1. That's mine
Yep.
too. Yeah, I the last one I had was a while back.
Huh. That's crazy.
Yeah, this is my. Should everybody see my charts?
Yeah. Yeah, I got an arrow. The last candle.
Euro. Yeah, I do not. This is. This is not. This is LCMFX, and you guys.
Mine looks like this, but I'm on Envy.
Really? That's
Same
so weird.
same down arrow.
That's so
That would have
weird.
been a great one too.
Okay. We have a down arrow.
I'm using the pro charts. Does that matter?
I'm not.
may make
I'm
a
using
difference.
Pro Charts as well.
Okay.
I am as well. I like the tighter spread, even though the commissions are a hair higher.
So is this the candle that it's on right there? That
Well,
one?
the one prior to it, Al, and then, yeah, the one prior to it is the arrow.
Right
Yep,
here,
right there.
down arrow right there. Okay.
It
Well,
looks
what
like a
is-
valid trade. The only issue is if you go to the M5, there's a little resistance close to the trade, but there's
And we
room.
go to, we
There's
have
about 30
1, 2,
pips
3,
down to the
4. It's
support.
in a downtrend, so we're going to go with. Let me go do a down arrow over here. We'll make sure we have that zone marked. And look at this, scale it out. And we'll get back to that question about the putting on the charts. So here's the, let's see, we're going to be looking at, this would be the entry right here, 20 pips to the downside. That's 30 pips there. We got 40 pips stop on the other side of that. That's pretty good.
Look at just take a quick peek at the M5, Al.
Yeah, that might be the, and that's showing a bounce right off of that zone right here.
I took it.
Euro
I
New
took it.
Zealand. I'm going to look and see something else with the Euro New Zealand. The Euro New Zealand, that's Euro's actually fairly strong to the New Zealand. It's they're right neck to neck as far as strength goes on all 4 time frames. So I'm not seeing see the Euro would be Euro's weakness, New Zealand's strength. I think I'm going to pass on this one. I would want to see it. I would want to see it break the green zone before I took this one.
So I'm on NVFX and I didn't get.
Go back to the 15-minute chart.
Yeah, I'm seeing.
I didn't get it.
Mixed feelings here.
This is confusing, but that's
Yeah,
fine.
that's weird, Matt. And we both are. We're both using the same chart and same broker, correct?
Yes, sir, and the
Right,
same
me too.
feed. We're both on Pro feed, so
Yeah.
I'm not sure what's up. Maybe it's just my system that's freezing up and stuff. I don't know.
Interesting.
But we'll have to write this one down in my notebook, and we'll have to get an answer to that, because anytime there's something that comes up, I write it down, and we go to Nate and the IT team to start finding out what's going on.
Yeah, that's odd. It seems like from the chat that maybe 50-50 got it and
Yeah,
didn't get it.
I was thinking the same thing, Charles. I started counting them up. It's about
Yep.
50-50.
Yeah.
How interesting.
I agree, though, Al. It's a little iffy just because of the upward pressure on the lower time chart there.
Yeah, for me it's iffy because you have a zone right below where my blue line is. You have another zone. I mean, so the target on that from that zone would be.
And of course, I took it because I liked the way it looked on the 15.
And
so this is
here,
Coach Mo would yell at you, Brian. She would tell you to look at.
She's the pickaboo. She's the pickaboo.
Yeah, but she's having some major computer issues right now. That's why she's not able to join us again.
And
her entire
my mistake.
her entire system just crashed.
Wow.
So she's not able to rejoin. She's going to keep on trying, but I just got a message from her. So
that's all right. Well, we got a good group here. We'll wait till she gets back.
we just
So
mark that zone and that.
All right, don't jinx nothing, because this happened last time, and we stinking took that stop loss on AUD whatever. AUD. At least we're not in a trade, right?
Let's see.
What
pair was that again that we were just looking at?
That was Euro Kiwi.
Euro Kiwi. Let me go and put that on my trade view. I have that.
So a couple of things to do while you're getting ready. We got to check how to add RSI. And then Paul asked, and maybe Matt, you can help with this. My alerts are not coming in. What can he do to fix it?
Okay, I will. I'll message him individually. Just I'll type the answer
I'll
out.
let you handle that. And then Ron asked about how do I adjust a chart so I can move up and down on MT4. That will be an Al settling in there too. So Ron, be patient. Scott and Ron,
I can do an MT4 thing because
we really need, and that's good. We probably need to do that in the Hawkeye session as well, just to give us a nice flat, everybody on the same page type thing. And Jasmine just said hers just crashed. I'm gonna.
All right. You know what I want you guys to do? You raise your hand option there in your chat. So if yours went down, I need you to raise your hand. I need to count how many people's has just failed. This way I can provide the proper feedback. Holy sugar.
Just trying to figure out where to show.
Add Mo to that because she just said that hers is completely down now.
Yeah. So please raise your hand so I can count, and don't put it in the chat. That way I can.
Matt, did yours crash?
Yep.
Because mine did not, and I wonder if that has anything to do with the arrows appearing and not appearing.
Bingo.
Could potentially that could because mine's down.
Yep.
Right.
Mine is not.
As well.
So right now we have about 25% of the people on the call, 30%. Yeah. All right.
Let me go and share something here.
All right, cool. You guys can all put your hands down. Thank you so much for helping. So I'm going to provide that feedback right now, and I'll let the rest of the guys take over the call.
Okay, let me share my screen. I got my screen shared in here. Okay, can everybody see my screen?
Yep.
Okay, let's talk about some of these MT4 issues that we're asking about. Someone's asked about putting the RSI on your chart. What you do is you come up to the insert, and there should be, let me think, is it tools, indicators? I think it's under this one here. Hang on, let me see where it is. Shaped arrows. I gotta find out where it is here. It's one of these view something toolbars. Maybe it's toolbars. Oh, here we go. Yeah, go into review, toolbars, line studies. And there should be a drop down on that, I believe. Maybe not. I've got to find my site. It's been a while since I put these on.
You can just add the indicator, can't we?
I'm just trying to find out where the, oh gosh, where would it go? Where to go? Tools, maybe it's still tools. It's been a while since I've done this.
Yeah, I'm lost on MT4.
I know it's been one of these little drop downs here, toolbars. Let's see what customize does here. Nope, that's not it either. Oh, you know, maybe it was. Hang on, I think what happened was my little window popped up a different monitor. Let me try this again. Tools, line studies. Try it again.
So someone's got in the chat there. Just insert and indicator.
Insert indicator?
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. It was right in front of me. Okay. And then we have drop down to oscillator. I think it's probably an oscillator.
Thank you, Andre.
And then over here to the relative strength index, RSI. Click on that. And you put the colors in. You put the, you apply it to the close. What I usually do, usually 14 period is pretty normal. And then it comes down at the bottom of the chart. If you go to levels, you put the levels in. I like using, actually I like using 25 and actually I like 3070 is actually what I usually do.
When you get a chance, Al, check the pound US 15-minute.
Pound US. This is not my platform. This is an MT4 platform that's not in the BPS, so I don't have the AIRO charts on this. But I can go pound US. You were saying? Yeah.
So I don't have any access to the VPS
okay.
yet.
We got into pound US on the Hawkeye call.
We got into pound US. Let me actually. I think last I looked at it, it was still doing okay.
According to one of our traders, it had a strong move.
Yeah. No arrows though.
It's a strong move up. Yeah.
Yeah. Here's the pound US, and this is where we this has been kind of interesting one. If we look at this, take this off here, and just look at our 5-minute chart, you'll see that This is where we had the wedge. This is where it broke the bottom of the wedge. We said it broke the bottom wedge. It came up, retested the wedge, came back down, retested this demand zone, and now it's coming back up to retest the wedge. So it's been basically basing right inside here. This is where I had a trap set where it came back down, trapped, came back, retested it. But if you look all the way over to the left side of the chart here, you'll see that this is where the strong move up came up, and it's right here. It's basing right inside this area. I'm using this little for the wick. So this is area, it would have to get through that before it goes lower. But right now it's finding buyers in here, it's finding sellers up here, and it's just kind of going sideways right in this range, which is pretty much right where it was before when it broke the wedge. So this is sort of like the retest area. Where's my retest? Retest right here. So that's my retest zone. So it comes up here, comes up, takes it. So right now it's trading beside this yellow zone and the green zone. I can pretty much take this off this trap. That's pretty much just a zone area that is right now. But here's where the wedge was. This was the main break of the wedge, and now it's basically just going sideways inside this range. I do think it has some strength to the let's see, the strength is on basically for the British pound. The British pound is still fairly weak, so it still wants to kind of come down a little bit. The dollar is not all that much stronger to it. So I think it's going to stay in this zone, this region for a little while still today. It may break out later on by after about noon or so. Maybe this afternoon it may break out to one way or the other, but I say this is kind of where it's stuck right now. There was another trade, which was the Aussie US. If we look and see where the Aussie US is, you can see that the Aussie is still strong. Now, it was up here just a few minutes ago. The Aussie was way up here, and now it's back. But here's strong here, strong here, strong here. So it is starting to show a little bit of weakness. There is getting a little bit of a flip now for the strength. So the pound is starting to show a little bit of strength now. You see it was all the way down at the bottom. Now it's moving its way up to the top. So if you're in a Aussie US, an Aussie, the Aussie or the British Aussie trade, it looks like it may have found a bottom right here. And if you come over here to the left, you'll see where this is the wick. So you can look and see where.
Two questions as you're showing that, Al. You have the question about how you get two moving averages on your screen because he can only do one, and then the other one is, can you explain that red and green cloud?
The red. You're talking about. Let me see if I'm talking about that. Is that what you're talking about?
Explain what that is, and then the question about moving averages, how you were able to get two of them instead of he can only put one.
Yeah, we have a tool where I have a moving average. Well, let's just take one thing at a time. I have the cloud is basically a combination of the exponential 5-period and the exponential 13-period moving average. It just has, and this comes up as a cloud. But if I put the moving averages on, I'll take the cloud off. And if I could put the moving averages on, you'll see that the green one is the 5-period, the yellow one is the 13-period. If I'm on a 15-minute chart, the orange one is a 15-minute exponential 62. And that just sort of shows you how the moving averages are working. So this one's actually starting to bounce off the bottom here. But it came right over here. It came right down to this point. And as I came over here to the left, I think this, let me get onto my 1-hour chart again. You can see how it respects the price. It came back down. We had the strong up move over here. It came back down, retested it, went back up again. This was a strong point of where a pivot point. And you'll see that the keep on grabbing that and it keeps moving. And you'll see that over here, it came down and retested that same point right here, it retested it. And it's getting the balance. Now, if it can break through this, it's probably going to go a little bit lower, somewhere deep inside of this region right in here. The moving averages, basically, you can just go out and load the. You can just load the moving averages a couple of times. Now, if you depending on what subscription you have with TradingView, the subscription would be such that you can it allows so many indicators. If you have like the pro version of TradingView that allows, I think, something like 5 indicators. We do have some tools where we've combined some of the moving averages. Like this is a multiple moving average. It's basically one indicator that has all 3 of them on here.
Yeah, my VPS is still dead, guys. I can't.
Mine too. Mine too.
So basically, we're doing this. So basically, we're turning this into a
Hawkeye session.
A Hawkeye session. Hawkeye trading session.
I don't know anymore.
I'm thinking Matt probably needs to take the question from Michael. I don't know if you can explain it and then share with Al what we're talking about, but it's talking about wedges. I'm assuming on the MT4, but maybe did you show just a moment ago how to get a wedge on TradingView, Al? I think
I'm gonna change monitors here. Hang on a second.
Okay, give me a sec here. I'll show you. Now I can confirm. Huh?
You would take it?
Oh. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, go ahead.
So I'll confirm with you guys that there is on MT4 you can't draw the stick like I've been drawing, right? So this is a 30-minute chart. Now after a while, after you've gone out and drawn a couple hundred wedges, you see wedges all over the place, right? And it's the curse of the wedges. But on MetaTrader 4, I don't believe you're able to do the following. Go here and draw the stick like this. And you can't move this. Hold on a sec. I've got my little guys here. Okay, so yeah, you're not able to move that way. But the wedges can be used as a confirmation for any trading strategy. That's why it was such an easy and simple transition to go from trading the wedges to going into the into AIRO, because we found that actually on the 15-minute level, when we get an alert, we can go to any currency pair and we can draw the wedge and wait for the breakout. Now, before I would take a breakout like this, what I would be looking for would be for it to break one of the trend lines, come back and tag it, and then take off. That's a higher probability trade. So I'm not saying that it's going to go up here. I'm just saying this is in a consolidation zone. So it could pop down here as well. Anyway, I hope that answers your question. If you need any more input around that, just let me know, and we'll make sure we address that at a deeper level in the Hawkeye session. This way, we can move forward.
Next question.
Well, the next question is how do I adjust the chart on an MT4 to move it up and down? Well, I can't get to an MT4 yet, so. Do you have an MT4 available, Al, that you can show Ron how
to adjust the chart up and down? Let me.
I just stopped sharing.
Let's see. Let me get a chart up here.
And then Matt, did you privately answer Paul about his question in regards to alerts?
Not yet. I'm gonna go do that.
I'll leave it up there for you then, because that's the only question we now have in the Q&A.
Okay.
Okay, let me get the screen sharing here. Hang on a second.
One more thing. Sorry, David mentioned in the chat, you can draw the stick with the trend. You can hold control and drag it, and it'll actually make a copy. So you can do it. And that's my limitations on MT4. I actually only use it to execute trades. I don't do any analysis on MT4 other than looking at the AIRO alerts. So thank you for that, David.
Me too. Yeah. It's
not. I used to use MT4. I used to use MT4 a lot years ago, and I just got away from it. And now I'm having to relearn it again since we have.
Yeah, because wasn't that the first one released after Parchment?
Something. Yeah, it was right after the Parchment.
Parchment paper.
was right after we got done with the pencils and graph paper. Yeah.
It's ancient, man. It's ancient.
Yeah, you and Jesus were together doing the trading.
Al, are you Al, is your VPN up?
Nope.
No,
let me try it again. I don't think it is. This is my, basically here's what I do. I keep a MT4 platform with the same login, same account number as my on the VPS. So that way, if I do lose the VPS, I still have the my chart that can still. It's just a repeater of what's on the VPS is what it is, but it's off the VPS and it's just a standalone MT4 platform. That's what I'm looking at right now. So no, my VPS is not up yet that I can tell.
I would love to hear you guys talk a little bit about the Euro Kiwi right now. It's kind of fascinating that the M15 chart is in downward with a downward arrow, and the M5 chart overall is an upward trend with an upward arrow. I've never seen that before, where you have literally they look like two different pairs from 5-minute to 15-minute, which kind of goes to the peekaboo thing from Mo a little bit, but it's just
interesting. The Euro Kiwi.
Fractal trend is what that is.
Fractal trend. All right.
Yeah.
I'm learning some new terms from you today, Brian.
So I was talking. Matter of fact, we talked about this yesterday with my fourth graders. We're doing a stock market game, and I told them about fractal trends. You had a 4-hour chart, 1-day chart, and a week chart for their trading, and the fractal trend on the 4 is up, where the other ones were down. And they didn't understand which one was stronger. And so,
geez, man, you'd be a great 4th grade teacher. I'm going to bring my kids.
We love it.
I'm going to bring my kids out to you.
We just broke into the early 1900s in our social studies and talking about the market crash, the impact of not saving, not preparing, and what it did to our economy. And I'm showing them a picture of what the economy at that time looked like in comparison to ours. And they're all like, we need to be selling. We need to all be selling. Okay. Yeah. So I teach that still in 4th grade in alignment with our normal curriculum.
You're gonna teach these 4th graders AIRO at some point in the future?
I actually popped it up on the screen the other day to show them what supply and demand looks like, because they have to learn those terms, supply and demand. And so I showed them how you can look at that in a price-based. They get it, man. I've had out of the state of Texas, we compete against high schoolers, and 2 years ago we had a 2nd place team, and we usually have at least 4 in the top 20. And they're 4th graders.
Amazing. Awesome. You're setting up the next generation to win.
Yeah.
That's great. CB, this is my my analysis of the Euro NZD. I'm actually on the 30-minute chart just to have an idea, but I see it going up.
You see my charts?
I'm looking at somebody's charts.
See my Euro NZD?
Yeah, I see your Euro NZD. You see there's a really nice upper trend line there, and then you've got a downward phase down. You can do that. I brought it up higher.
Yeah. Look at your line of price action right there is where the line, if you drew a horizontal to the left, that pivot point right there is the key control area all the way left. So that's where I would put my line there too.
Yeah, it's gonna break.
Look at that parallel right there.
A trend line.
See that parallel?
Ranging up.
This is our channel.
Overall, you like it going up though.
Yes.
Overall.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like it going up.
Yeah.
Now this thing could come down. It could come down further still, but I like this. We're getting a little bit of a bounce. It's not until this bounce gets a little deeper into this. This is still this trend line is still a little bit iffy. But right now it's you got a little bit of a bounce there, and we have a challenge. Right, here's the peak of this one. So here's the first. Here's the anchor. Here's the first hit. Here's the anchor. Here's the first hit. Here's an anchor. That would still be the first hit or a parallel to that. So right now I'm liking this channel and if you look at the moving averages with this, you'll see that the moving averages are starting to consolidate. All of them are right here bunched together. If you go to a 15-minute chart, you'll see that you still have some downward pressure on this downward trend, But as soon as it can break through, and as long as once these consolidate and cross over, kind of like they did here, off of this bounce, then you could be looking at this is the target. And you have a little trend line coming right down to the bottom, which would be this one area right in here. So from here, you see that here's a hit, there's a near hit, near hit, near hit. This one is still it still has a little bit more of a downward pressure, but we did get a bounce right off of this point right here. And here's your wedge right in there.
Yeah, most of the higher up time frames, it's showing a downward trend on AIRO.
On the higher time frame, is showing a downward trend. Well,
Yeah, 15,
that would be
15 and up. 15 and up from, I didn't go way out there, but 15,
we go
30,
to,
1
well,
hour.
yeah, I can see that. So if you see, this is on a 3 hour.
Yeah.
3 hour chart. Yeah, this was, well, and actually if you take this one and put it over here, this is your major downtrend right here. That
And
was
Charles, your question, our VPSs are currently down. So we are in some live trades, but we can't see them yet. So
Yeah, so we have no alerts. We can't
we can be
get
looking
alerts.
at some of these live trades if we want to be looking at them.
And then Al, do you happen to have a screenshot of all the pairs that we trade in AIRO session today, like that we look at on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah, actually I can.
Because I tried to dump a picture in the chat box and it's not letting me.
Okay, I can take a screenshot of the.
Yeah, that way that everybody can take it. If you put it on your screen, everybody can take a quick screenshot of that as well, giving them, because a couple of people have asked about that. What pairs are we looking at?
I'll tell you what, let me do this.
I'm still up, guys. So I'll try. I usually only keep the 10 that Nate, recommends open just so I don't get lag, but I'll open up all 8 of them.
I've got mine all opened up. You can take a screenshot of the pairs I've got here. Let me see if I make sure I don't.
You can drag it over.
Give any information that I don't want to be showing. Hang on just a second here.
So Nate's 10 pairs, guys. They're the 6 British pairs. Okay. And then the 4 Euro pairs. Euro Yen, Euro NZD, Euro what's the other one?
Euro pound and Euro AUD.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, let me take a screenshot and I'll put it in the chat box. How's that? I'd rather do it that way.
Are you allowed to do that? It wouldn't let me do that.
Let me see here.
Yeah, you can't post pictures in the chat.
Oh, yeah. Okay. You can't post a picture in the chat.
No, but I can. You can post it in the AIRO bag chat.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, I can do that.
I can. Yeah, do that, Al. That would be easier.
Okay, so file.
And then Marissa, I cannot re-access through remote desktop nor Auvoria Connect. Corporate is aware. Oh, she's just letting us know corporate's aware. Yeah.
Yeah,
and I should have read to the end.
Save. Let's see if I can.
Yeah, I'm not up either.
Do this here. AIRO bag chat. Let me see. Bear with me here as I try to find my way around here. Make sure I got the right picture.
So guys, if you guys are in any trades, we're going to reiterate this one more time. Please make sure you have an alternate solution to get out of your trades. Either your broker allows you to use an online platform, or you have it on your mobile phone, your cell phone, or you have it, as Al does, on his PC outside of the VPS. But please make sure you have an alternate way out.
I'm trying to rename this here so I know what the name of it is.
And VPS is still down, yes, for many of us. Some people are not. So it seems to be sporadic.
I'm still up, and I'm just going to open up all the charts so at least I can call out any alerts.
Thanks, man.
So this goes to the AIRO announcements. Is that where we want to put this?
Not in the announcements, in the AIRO bag chat.
Bag chat.
Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you.
Let's see if I can. AIRO. So let's see if I think I'm getting close to making this happen.
So, Paul, your question around your alerts not coming in. What I'm going to do is I'm going
There
to
we
do
go.
up a video.
There you go. It's in the AIRO back chat. The list of all the pairs that I've got.
And then your last thing that Ron wants to know, how do you move your MT4 up and down?
And I move the MT4 up and
I'm guessing be able to drag your charts around.
Kind of scrunching the bottom.
Squeeze, yeah.
Yeah, okay, let me see if I can redo this here. Let me open up this. Okay, let me start sharing this screen. This is number 3. Okay, we're sharing. There's my chart. I should put an extra RSI on here. I don't need that. But you can just, if you come over to the, I just left click and I just pull on this on the side here. I just scroll that up and down. And that moves that up and down. And then at the bottom, you can grab on where the dates and times are, and you can just grab that and scroll it back and forth.
And
Just
then
left click.
he said not drag, just not using sidebar. No drag, not using sidebar.
Oh, like this way. You can do it to a certain point, but it keeps, you have a little tabs up here, which will allow you to tab over to have it all the way to the end, or tab back to have a little bit of room to the other side. But that's about, just grab the back of the chart, just move it back and forth. If that's what you're talking about. Hope that answered your question.
Yeah, I think so. Let's see. Matt, do you have the AIRO bag chat channel link available to post?
Yes, I do. Give me a second here.
Yeah, I don't see it on mine. I'm in it, but I don't see it.
It's fine. I'm gonna get it up there. But I just got the same question. Oh, I'm in a live trade and my VPS went down. The easy solution is make sure you have a backup plan. Right? We can't play that game where you only have one option, one solution. Because you never know what's gonna happen. Your computer can mess up, right?
Yeah, you can put your account and your login, and you can pull up your platform on the MT4. The only thing you won't get is you won't get the charts, but you will have access to your open trades that you can maneuver just with you can have your own chart up, but you can still maneuver your trade by having it outside the VPS. That way, I always have my an account with the platform. Just it's on a whole other monitor by itself, and I can just always keep an eye on what's going on with it that way.
And also, if most people follow the setup from the beginning, you would have it on your phone and you can close out trades right from your phone.
Exactly. Yeah, so I have basically my phone. If I lose my internet, I still have my phone. If I lose my VPS, I still have, and the thing is, the VPS is still managing the trades. If you have like a gearbox or a variable, the VPS is still managing the trade, but the manual trades that we manage only with the fact you have your stop and your target in there. So if you have your stop and your 40 pip stop, your 20 pip target, all theoretically it should be okay. Yeah, there should be no panic with it, except for the fact if you want to be able to monitor it a little bit closer.
Garvin asked if you could take a look at your Euro Kiwi again on the 15-minute chart.
Euro Kiwi. Let me go over to the my trading view. I like doing that a little bit better here. Euro Kiwi on screen 2.
As I understand, James, yes, if you have, even though your VPS frozen, you don't access it. As I understand it, if you have a stop in place, it's still going to be stopped because that's an
yes,
order.
it will.
That's an order placement, and that's already been done.
Yeah. So here's a 15-minute chart on the Euro New Zealand. And like I said, this is where we had the bounce. It's just still trading in a relatively, it's trading between this moving average, which is our 15-minute exponential 62 moving average. And it's so until it, as long as this moving average is above, it's still going to have some downward pressure. But once you're starting to see the consolidation. We're starting to see this 5 and the 13 starting to cross. And you'll see that as you see that. So right now it's trying to decide whether or not it's going to break out of this wedge right here. So we have the trend line. Here's a high, a lower high, a lower high. So I'm just going to take it from here down to this one, snap it back to here, and move the chart, move it down to this is the wedge that we're looking at right now. The triangle that we're looking at is still, if it can break through this wedge right here, there might be a little bit of a trap. Which I kind of like having this one down a little bit further, maybe right about to there. Yes.
Probably the reason he's asking about this chart is there was a downward arrow 4 candles ago, and it's actually reversed a little bit.
And I'm still short that.
1, 2, 3 on this one right here.
I still think the overall move is up though.
If you follow just Nate's rules, don't worry about peekaboo or anything else. It was definitively a valid trade. There was a bounce, downward arrow, plenty of room to the support.
So it's right off this arrow right here.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah. 4 arrows back. Yep.
Okay.
Exactly.
So it is, and we were in a downtrend. Okay, so we were in a downtrend. We had the down arrow. I would think that if you had your stop anywhere above this, where the A is, you should be okay.
Right. There's a resistance. There's a resistance right there, actually. Right.
Yeah,
right where you're sort of showing it.
So yeah, this would be if you got in right there, that would be. So you're only looking at that's about 30 pips to the top side. Is that right? Am I right? Where the arrow was, that would be 30. Yeah, that'd be 35 pips to where the C and the A are. And what I would be looking at with this particular pair right now, from a technical standpoint, we had here's where the pivot was. I like this big move. If you see, this is the origin of this big move. Well, this area here has already been taken out. So here's where it was basing. And so right now it's got downward pressure, and this is pretty much like the supply zone, what I would call the supply zone. Now from the downside, let's just get this out of the way here. So from the down move, this thing has a down move, so I'd want my stop above this area right here, which is pretty much where I had the A. Now for the break of this area, we have this trend line, which we have to respect. But if it can break from where we have, let's see, the entry of this arrow would have been right there. That would have been the entry to sell. So that would be the entry to sell right here. Now, if we're looking for 20 pips, and that's at, let's see, what is the at price on this? 67, 67. So the target would be, where's my target? Yellow reference, there we go. 67, 67, so 47. So here would be the target, which is pretty much right here at this pivot right here. That'd be your first target. That'd be your 20 pip target. If you got in short, this would be your target. You have lots of down.
That's why I jumped in short, because it's
this is a nice little trade actually. This is actually a nice little trade. And your stop would be
just above where you had your wedge.
And so 67, so it'd be pretty much 67 to right at 68-ish, right about there. That would be where your stop would be. So you got lots of room to the upside. That'd be the stop zone. And if it does, I mean, and if it goes, so you have your target, which is a good little target there. And if you come all the way over, here's what I do. Oftentimes I'll do this, where I'll have have a line here, and you come all the way over, and you wait and see where you come into wicks. Here's the wick. Once you get through this wick, the next stop down the road is right here. So this would be if it can break through this target, this would be target 2.
Al, and maybe this is a question you understand, because I know what he's asking, but I don't know the strategy well enough. Aussie US strategy 9. Do you know what strategy 9 is?
I have not seen strategy 9 yet.
How about you, Charles?
I have, yeah. I mean, I haven't gotten, it's the market maker strategy. I haven't actually, though, gotten through both videos yet.
Okay. Then we'll try to catch it the next time, because I need to definitely catch up on it. We are having all sorts of messes here, apparently.
We had an alert here for USD Chef.
USD Swiss.
USD Swiss. Yeah, I'm just gonna. It looks like it's going right into a resistance. Yeah.
Okay, so let me do what I can do with this is I'm going to duplicate this.
Yeah.
And you can pick up USD.
It's a no go. It's
a no go.
Yeah, it's a big time. It's an up arrow going into heavy resistance, and it's big downtrend. So no go.
Okay.
Yeah, we were just talking about the Euro Kiwi, where the 5-minute had a buy opportunity, but the 15-minute had a sell opportunity.
Right.
And both would apply, in my opinion. Both would apply.
That's why that I didn't get into that trade, because the 5 minutes scared me off.
Yeah.
The nice thing about TradingView is that whatever I do to the one chart, it will propagate over to the other charts. So in other words, like if I draw a line, like right here, if I draw it on my 15-minute chart, you'll see this pops up on my 5 and my 1 minute. So I can really focus down onto just keep using that microscope to get tighter and tighter to that. And the tighter you can see the price action on the 1 minute, the usually the tighter stop you can take. Yeah, this looks like it's pretty much in a range here. And usually I'll start with the 15-minute chart, start with the daily price action from the blue line, which is the price daybreak. I'll start with drawing a box around that hole, the high and the low for the day. And I'll measure that and see how much room there really was for how much price action was there for the whole day. And like this one only has 12 pips since the new day. It hasn't changed more than 12 pips. So that's just not enough range. And then you come over here and see what the day before's the range was the day before.
That's a hard zone of consolidation, my friend. That's really hard.
So I'm going to come down to that. Here's the whole yesterday's price action. This is like looking at a daily candle and seeing what actually happened during that whole day. I'll take this over here. Whoops, I didn't want to do that. I'll move this over here to the whole day. So this is so basically this is the high of this is the open. Here was the high. Here's the low. Here was the close. And you can actually put this. Now you can actually see what it really looks like. If you were to draw, if this were a daily candle, you would actually be having this would be the wick of the this would be the wick, this would be the body, and then this would be the bottom wick from the low to where the close was. And you would actually have a red candle. This whole candle would be red.
Look at that candle, Al. Look at that rejection.
And then you can move this over to where the wick of the candle was. You can move this over to where the wick of the daily was. And here was the rejection of yesterday's wick. Came down, retested the wick, and now it's coming back up again. I don't know if that makes sense to anybody.
Well, it makes sense to me because I'm following exactly what you're doing. And no, it makes complete sense. But you see the current price action right now. If it breaks the top of that daily range, then you could be looking at that next range up there, right? Is that what you're saying, Al?
Yeah, this whole thing right here is the body of yesterday's candle, that shaded area. This is and it was a red candle because it opened higher, closed lower. Here was the high. Went high. So right now the candle was green. As soon as it broke down here, now the candle started turning red, and it's red all the way down here. And now since it didn't close above so closed out red, and this was the wick. This was the bottom wick right here. So here's the wick area. Here's the wick area up here. And now you know that yesterday's high was up here. This is the wick. This is where the sellers came in yesterday. So if that's where the sellers came in, you can make this as that, okay, that's where the supply was. So that was, now when this price, now, and here was where the buyers came in, and you can see that it opened up, it went up a little bit higher, sellers took over, and the buyers came right back in again. Now it's trying to push it back up. So if the buyers can push it up above, so here was today's low. So it couldn't make a lower low. And here's where the wick was. So here's where where the close was. So now if it can break this area right in here, it's probably going to go up higher and retest yesterday's high up in this area. So now you have, if it can break this to the upside, this would be the target. It would probably get a little bit of a balance right here because this is where it broke, but because this was the trend line that came down, and now the trend line is now getting broken. I get my trend line. So yesterday's trend was right here. And right here is where it got broken. It came back down. Right now it's breaking this trend and it's going up. And you're seeing this, you can see that's got a little bit of an upward push to it. And if I look at my heat map of the the Swiss, you'll probably see that the dollar is starting to gain a little bit of strength against the Swiss. Let me just see if that holds true here.
And then David asked about the pound US too.
The pound US is it's still in that same range that we talked about earlier, but we'll visit that again. Where's my heat map here?
It almost appears that the market's pretty flat today. Not a whole lot of movement.
It started off being pretty good, and now it's just sort of.
Well, London session was real good, and then it just consolidated right through New York. So
that's what
pretty soon, guys, you're not going to get a lot of movement until your Asian session starts. So till about 9 o'clock. So from about 12 o'clock or so until 12 o'clock Eastern time till about 9 o'clock, it's going to be pretty flat, especially since we had a really flat New York session.
Yeah, see, we were looking at the Euro Swiss. Is that what? Yeah, we were looking at. No, what pair were
pound US is what we were going to look at.
Well, we were looking at this one here. I just want to see. So this is the US Swiss, and if the look at the heat map on this, you'll see that the dollar is stronger than the Swiss on the 1 hour. The dollar is stronger than the Swiss just barely on the 30-minute. The dollar is stronger than the Swiss on the 15-minute, and the dollar is not a lot of strength there. And as you can see, if you look at the chart, it's kind of going sideways right now, and it's in what we say was in about 12 pip range, I think. 16 pip range right now, and so you can see that there's not a lot. They're kind of battling out down here to see which one's going to take control. Next, what was the other pair?
You had pound US and gold now.
Pound US. Let's go with pound US. Here's the pound US, and that one's still showing. It's coming into the demand zone. It's coming into this zone over here. Let's go on my 15-minute chart here. Here's this wick that I often talk about, the wick pullback right here. And you're gonna get, and you can see right off of this point, you can see, let me just close this up out here. You can see how it's coming right down to retest this area and bounce right back up again. So it's finding the buyers are coming in right around this area.
Someone sent in an anonymous thing, but can you go check gold? Specifically, just what time frame are you talking about? Are you talking about 1 hour swing? Or are you talking about 5 minute? Or because we trade gold on the 5 with AIRO.
Yeah, here's the range of gold right now. It's ranging inside a from this ranging in a let's see, it looks like about an $18 range, I guess.
About, yeah.
Yeah, about $18 range, but it doesn't have any clear direction. It's going sideways inside this channel. Here's yesterday's high and low. Had a little wick up here, had a little wick down here. Here's a wick. Here's a retest. A little wick right there. We have another wick right here. We have another wick right here. And we have a wick up top here.
So you're thinking it's going to come back down and test the demand zone,
I think it's going to come down. If it can break through this zone right, if it can break through, it's got to probably have to go through this area right in here. Now we slide this over. This could be a trap area down here. It could break through here. It was, oh, it's gonna go lower, and then boom, it gets right to this area. If it can break this point right here, if it can break that, there's the low. Remember we talked about the wicks of these. Come over here, and we're going to take this over and see where here's the wick. Okay, if it can break that where the line is right now, it's probably going to come down to right here. This candle right here has nothing to stop it. It's just a clear shot. It's a long extended range candle. It based a little bit, went up higher, came back down, retested this. But if it can break through this area right in here, it's probably going to come down and look at the 1825 area, which happens to be a whole number, like Brian was talking about earlier. The same point is if you come up, if it can break through, here's some wicks right up in here. So if I would draw some wicks in this area, it's because, again, this thing's just consolidating. Here's another supply zone. Came back up, has a hit. Now this one went a little bit deeper, so we know that it went every bit. If you look and see where this pivot is here, you came over, you can see there's a little candle, right? Let me take this off, you can see it a little better. You can see where these wicks are. If you come over here where the wicks, here's the wicks, here's a hit, here's a hit. Here's your racetrack right here. Here's the top, this is where it's gonna go. If it can break, if it can close, and I'm just saying, and I wanted to see it close. If it closes inside this red box, it's probably going to go up to the top of the box, and then you have another supply zone. So if this thing gets challenged, it's probably going to come up here and reverse up at that point. That's my assessment on gold.
And that's the story we're sticking to.
And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Now that may be a little bit more than what you may be wanting to know, but that's the only way I know to describe it.
Simple word, it's flat.
It's going sideways in a range.
Or you could call it eastbound traffic.
Eastbound traffic, yep. And if you really wanted to trade this thing, I'd be a buyer down here, and I'd be a seller up here.
Up top, yep.
I may pull this down a little bit lower. I'd
right to the bodies.
I keep right to the bodies. If it came up in here, I'd be selling. If it comes down here, I'd be buying. But then your stop would be the other side of the zone. I would wait for the price action. I wait for price action where you have like a nice little pivot before you jump in to reset that where that low is going to be.
And then I would be drawing trend lines there. So once it breaks the trend line, you take it in the opposite direction. You can see From the left there, you got a long trend line down, you got a wedge. So I would just take the trend line breaks on the gold for that one and wait for a 5-minute or 15-minute candle in the opposite direction and just take a piece of it.
Yeah, really the wedge right here is, there's a high, here's a low, here's a lower high, and we're going to flat top the bottom. So right now, this is where it's trading. You have a nice little slope coming down. I could maybe even pull this line over a little bit tighter.
Maybe it's the hair higher, right? No, you're
just,
good.
yeah, just right about there. And that way, if it comes back down, if it breaks here, it could give you a head fake, break down here, come back, break this wedge, and then heading up to this direction. So you could have something move something a little bit like this.
Caesar wants us to take a check on the on NAS 100 on the 15 and the 1 hour, kind of see if we have potential setup there.
This isn't much of an arrow since we don't have any since we don't have any charts. So we're turning this.
There was just one alert at 15 after the hour for US CAD, but it was a no-go. There was no, it didn't bounce off anything, and it's upward arrow in a downward trend.
We're kind of turning this into a technical analysis session today.
That's still good. Still good. You got to learn it.
What was the pair? Oh, the NAS 100.
Yeah, NAS 100 on the 15 and the 1 hour, my friend. Caesar wants to know what we see.
I think this is
US Tech. Here. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. On the 15th.
Check at that.
Ooh, I would not be a buyer quite yet.
Yeah, this is a strong move down. Yesterday, it was just going sideways up until the end of the market. So here's the here's the box that we're looking at. I say go back the day before, see where the highs and lows were. That's the range. That's playing in. That's his playground. And we're going to be looking at let's see. There's the box I want. There's my box. Going to take this all the way over to. This is yesterday's. So the open was right around here. It went up higher. This is our eyeballing it right now. This is yesterday's wick, which is it's right in yesterday's wick right now. And then the lower wick was from here to here's. You can see this was actually closed out as a doji yesterday when you really look at it. That this is the body, the whole body of the candle, the whole body is here's the body right in here. Yeah, but yesterday you had a doji pretty much. It opened and closed right about the same spot. Where are we at here? Where's my supply zone? There it is. There's the body. Closed a little bit lower, but that's basically was a doji. There's your wick, higher wick, your lower wick. And right now it came back down. It went sideways. Now it's up into the yesterday's wick. And today is basically not doing much of anything. This was a pretty strong down move right here, but it got some rejection. That was a pretty strong rejection. The day before, look at very little range the day before. If you can take this all the way over, you see it came up, got rejected. So right now you're going to have a lot of pricing. You're going to see a lot of price action right in this little box right here.
All right.
Does that help? I like to draw and see what the price action for the day is, then sort of get an idea how that candle closed. So you can really look at the candle under a microscope to see exactly what the price action of that day was. I mean, even here, like here was the wick. It came down. Buyers came back in. Sellers took over at the open. The buyers came right back in and started driving it back up again. And right now the sellers are sitting here ballying out. You see a lot of wicks in here, a lot of wicks. But now if we move, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, man. What I was about to say, the GU just broke down. So, as per Tyra Thomas.
Ooh, yeah. It's
Yeah.
right back into that zone here.
Right stinking there. And
We
remember,
have a wick here.
yep.
Here's a wick. Here's a wick.
Remember we
And-
did a wedge on that just a little while earlier.
Yeah.
If it breaks that zone, I would look for a target somewhere around 1.3749, way down there.
749,
Yeah.
37, 37. Well, that's way down here. I don't know.
Very far.
I don't know. I'd go that low.
No, probably to the next support and resistance. That's just the wick on my wedge, my stick on my wedge.
Yeah, I'm still looking at this thing, still kind of range bound. I mean, it's not. Let's see. Let me spread this out. Dude, let's take a look at this under a 5 minute.
But it has to break that zone, right? I'm not taking it unless it breaks that zone.
Let me see what it looks like. Let's see what the 5 minute chart looks like here. Where did it actually break the? See, this was the area right in here. Now this did get tested. Couldn't come down. Double bottom, double bottom. This could be a head fake right here. Check our moving averages. Let's go to 1 minute chart and put this thing under a microscope on the 1 minute chart. Strong move down, but again, this is trending, but these are just very small ranges. If you look from here to the top, you're only looking at 4 pips. These are 4 pip moves. That's barely the spread. You have a 1.5 pip spread on this thing. I'd like to see a strong rejection. Now here's a nice little wick down. It came back down, came back rejection right here. I would not be taking this short, not with this zone down here. You may be looking for this as some pullbacks. Take a look at a 5 minute chart. It's going to be telling you much the same thing, only not quite as precise. But we're looking at a nice little trend down, but we have our double bottoms hit. Here's another hit. So this area has been tested several times. Now it's starting to break down a little bit deeper, but it still has to break through the bottom here.
Hey guys, just a quick announcement. So the number one, this is not the last live trading of the week. There's actually the London session with Nate, and then we're also back here tomorrow morning for the Hawkeye call that goes about 9 o'clock or so. So there's 2 more live sessions.
I'll put I'll put the Hawkeye chat in the. Did I already do that, Matt?
Yeah, you did earlier.
Okay. Should I do it again? Do I need to?
Just do it anyway, I guess. The NZD JPY. Christine is actually in a trade now. Were we short? Like, did we take that thing short or what?
NZD JPY, I think I got out of that one already for some reason. Let me NZD JPY NZ.
Yeah, we got in that earlier. I got out of it already. It was a nice trade.
All right, so you already take profit?
Yep.
Okay, so anyone that's still in it probably entered late.
Or I just took my profit early. I could have done that too, depending on what I was looking at.
Hey, I'm back up.
Are you?
Yeah. How about that?
Well, let me try it. Let me see here.
So
Go ahead and
you're
share your
looking
screen
at-
if you want. If you're up and running, go ahead and.
Yeah, I can share my screen if I need to. There's no alerts that we have. Charles, do we have any alerts?
Yep, mine's coming up too.
Yeah, we took the Kiwi. I'm already out of it. Kiwi yen long. And now it's coming back down. Yeah, I have no alerts.
Next one I have is the Euro New Zealand, but I think we've already talked about that one.
Yeah, I'm still sitting in the Euro New Zealand.
I'm also in touch with Tyler about this.
If somebody wants to take a screenshot of my chart pattern here, you can do that as well. It might be a little bit better than the snapshot that I took earlier. Let me see if I'm sharing the right one here. Let me change my chart here. I think I'm sharing the wrong screen. Here we go. This was there. There we go. There's my charts.
NZD CAD has a long, and I am currently short. No,
Again, take notice to make sure that you have all yours on the time frame that you want to make sure you have it on, that you want to be on. I try and keep all my Forex pairs on the 15-minute. Occasionally I'll go and take a look at the 1 hour, except for and then the gold and the indexes I have on the 5-minute. And that's.
Are you sharing your screen now?
I thought it was.
Okay. Are you doing the
you are. Someone is. Yeah,
okay.
That's yours.
Yeah.
I'm looking. I can't find it. Okay, there it is. There is an NZD CAD 1 hour that I just took long if you're a swing trader.
The British USD is we're taking some heat on the British USD, but I'm not overly concerned about it yet. This is the one that we're looking at earlier.
And David asked if I was still long. Yes, I'm not moving anything. I just let it be.
In fact, I may be more apt to take another position on it just to take another quick stab at this, just to get a little bit better price on it.
Can I show my screen now? For those who
sure. Yeah, you should be able to. Let me stop sharing.
Okay, so we got an alert on the Kiwi CAD. If you squish this up, you can see we have more longs than shorts. We came down into it, got our arrow, and my target is 50 for a swing. Now, for this particular case, normally 50 is the way I'd go. I'm going to bring it down just in front of that resistance line because I can see the wick. And then I don't trust this to not fall further. So instead of risking more, I like to pull this up just a tad. There's no reason to get nuts with it, because by the time we're down here, the trend has gone down because you are making some lower highs. So I'm just going to tighten it up and hope to play this little range bound thing because I got in right here where you can see the line in the middle of a range, but there's room to the top. And that could last, days. But that's it, yeah. Euro Kiwi profit. Euro, that must be on the 15, I would assume. And I'm still there. I'm still on the sell, profitable. We'll see what happens. Yeah. Again, this would be a case again where now if this candle closes like it can do the strength of it, then I would probably look at depending on what the next candle does, because I'm so used to longer term. This is only 15 minutes. The next second candle, I may be considering moving my stop down. That's when I get closer, less risk. That's just my style. Now, normal bags is just you stay with it. See how it no wick on that. So I would assume it would come back down here. If I can get close, it wouldn't be bad necessarily. And notice my position sizes aren't right, but I'm just
There's a
playing with a small account here that's a demo.
There's a US CAD alert that I'm just picked up.
You just got?
Yeah.
Why didn't I get that?
Yeah, I got it earlier. There was no, it didn't bounce off anything.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not there.
Maybe it's an old one.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah.
So Kiwi yen, I'm really liking the long side of this thing, guys.
Kiwi yen.
Yeah.
You looking on a short-term basis or
No, the more of a higher time swing on this one.
I definitely see that for a swing up to there.
Yeah. So you're saying 75.90 is
Yeah.
a nice target, and I like that one too, and that's where my take profit is on that one.
Yeah, that's where I would be at. Just playing this nice. There's a nice little channel here. That's kind of what you're playing with, because it's been a long time since it's been this high. Made some sense today out of a small account. That's kind of a nice thing.
Well, this is a little bit. This is a better call than we had yesterday. At least we get in some trades and learn a couple things, and
Mariska and I are on the same mindset. I hate the U.S. CAD. Always have. I rarely will try. I traded in demo only. I can't. We don't get along either. What would the target be for pound US? Let's see what we got here. 20 pips is where my entry was.
Yeah, you got a couple potential targets for GU, eh? Are you talking about?
You got one here. You got one up here.
Where? So you're saying short? Sorry.
No, long.
Or you're saying up, long? Yeah.
The signal came in here, followed by a down, but I got in on a long right here.
Oh, okay. Right before it pulled back real hard.
Yeah, and we have this little level on level here, so I'm going to clean that level up just a tad.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That might be a good entry for a long. There might be an opportunity there, because that's a strong level.
Well, this is that peekaboo thing, because I actually was looking at this one. And then we did the peekaboo when it came into this zone, and then got in. I actually got it. I believe I got in right here on that one when it bounced, and we thought, oh, it's all good. And then it slammed down, and we thought, oh, we're losing. Then that nice emotional roller coaster. So my first target is going to be 20 pips, regardless of my entry. If I really was wanting to be long term with this, I'd take it up to the 38.50. That's what I mean. I'd rather get my 20 pips and be gone. I was gonna say go play golf, but can't.
So we've got a question around how many weeks it can take to grow an account from $100 to $100K, risking about 5% per trade. Go online and do. There's a lot of Forex calculators, Forex compound calculators. Just go check that out. It'll tell you.
Yeah,
it depends how many trades you're taking a day. It depends like whatever what your win rate is, right? So there's a lot of factors that are not.
This is a good one.
Yes,
that's a good one.
Yes, it is. There's also one, Circle Markets, I believe, is the one that allows you to add balance. So
you call it Circle Markets, because I need to know that. Okay. I see the trading.
Compound calculator at the top there, my friend.
I'm going to bookmark it for later as well.
I think it's there. Go down a little bit. I just want to make sure it's Circle Markets, or if you go down, no, it's not. Okay.
So I'm not bookmarking it.
No, don't bookmark that one. I've got another one. I'll get it to you guys later.
Yeah, because I love these things. Huge help to keep
tackle trading. That's the one.
Yeah, look at
yes. Rich, thank you, sir. So tackletrading.com/tools/
and the check will be in the mail.
Yeah. That looks really nice. I'm gonna book.
Yeah, that's the starting balance, and then that's your contribution. So this, if you add 200, this is the best one I've found because you can easily explain to someone how long it's going to take them to potentially make a rate of return. And instead of a monthly return, you can change the number of months to the number of days, and then you can get your daily compounding that way. So,
let's do just for fun.
yeah, just do 100.
And he said, what was the question?
Put 0.
0?
Yeah. Well,
No,
if you're whatever.
no contributions.
And then rate of return. So say he takes one trade a day and makes 5% a day. You got 23 or 26 trading days in the month. So if you take a couple days off because trades are not good, say 23 trading days.
Okay. So times
yeah, so 23 trading days. So 23 times 5
ish.
Yeah, so 150% a month. Whatever it is. Well,
It would be 23, wouldn't it?
Yeah. 23. So that would be in your first month, you'd be up 307.
Where do you see 307 at? Ah, I see.
Yeah.
I see.
So
This
what
is
you
nice.
Yeah. Yeah. So now just throw an extra $100 in there.
Monthly contribution.
Stop going to get monthly contribution. Go throw an extra $100 in there. And yeah, there, look. That's the difference. Stop going by Starbucks, start putting money in your trading account.
Now, the key is that you have to be consistent enough to be able to not blow the account in the process.
Right. And 5% daily is a very aggressive goal for it. You'd need to be trading a significant amount of time to attain 5% consistently.
If I can get 3% a week consistently, I'm a pretty happy camper.
There you
on
go.
The average.
That's what I'm liking.
Yeah. So there you go. So if you're making 10% a month, mess off with 5% a day, okay? Just even aim for 10% a week.
Insanity, the power of money.
Yeah, and it's doable. It really is doable with a lot of discipline and a lot of dedication.
With the tools that we have, like literally, Coach Mo keeps on saying it's the secret sauce.
That's it.
And what we have is the secret sauce. It doesn't really get much better than this.
How fun. That's good.
Yep.
It's always good to dream too. Always good to dream.
Sorry, guys.
You got to dream or you won't be heading anywhere.
You put the thought out there, you believe that you can do it, and then just make it happen.
Without a vision, the people will perish.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, I have to go to another call and I have to take care of the wife.
No worries. Are you gonna put Al's host so you can have?
I absolutely will, and you guys can land this plane home, and we'll let the pilot land this thing. Hold on here.
We'll see. We'll see if we can make it worth our while to stick around here for another 20 minutes. We have only about another 20 minutes left, and
I'm just excited about all the people. I mean, it's
been fun having everybody.
You're in the
here.
daytime. Doesn't anybody have a job?
and my hats off to everybody that stuck around during all the losing the VPSs and everything else. But we're trying to make it so at least you're getting some value out of being here with us this morning.
Yeah, we got Telegram for Hawkeye, and let me go ahead and put that in the chat box again for you guys.
Yeah, and we're all on Telegram. You can find us all in the bag chat. We're actually using our real names, so you can find Al and Brian and myself, Matt, and
we're trying to do this as our job. Yeah, absolutely. I just want to thank you guys for sharing your knowledge. I have learned so much with the whole AIRO crew that I've been able to 7 times my account as of today.
What? Be quiet. All right, hold on. I'm taking a screenshot of that. How about that?
I've been in the London, New York, so somebody doesn't sleep.
Yeah.
Well,
Somebody's
you know
a
what?
newbie
How
because
bad,
I've been there.
how bad do you want it? How bad
Yeah.
do you want to change your financial future for your family, take care of your kids and everything, right? How big's your why? That's what we're talking about.
Yeah. What is your why?
Crazy. Mine's time, and I love teaching fourth grade still, so I definitely know that when I'm ready to give up that gift of being with kids and helping them, then I can transition into trading without a problem. So I was just making fun of those who are here every day. It is a job, and it should be a job, but it should be more of a career. I always thought of jobs as being something you had to do. Careers are something you love to do.
So true. So true.
I've had
So-
3 careers. I've had one job. I worked at Taco Bueno as a kid, and I hated every minute of it. But I've had 3 careers, so
I always say is if you like what you do, you never work a day in your life.
pretty much. I love this stuff. I love the fact that people are around helping each
Oh,
other.
don't show that screen, Al. That's your
That's mine. I'm trying to get
Oh.
past it.
yeah, you don't want that password, right?
Nah, I'm just trying to find my screen again.
Okay.
Here we go. There we go. Yeah, that's when you're not. I'm not normally on in the daytime, to where I'm flipping through.
All right. I'm gonna bail, guys, but
Yeah, man.
we really appreciate everyone that stayed on. We've got over 100 people that remained on the
Yep.
call. We
Wow.
started with something around 200 and some, and then we lost about 20-30 people while we were experiencing
Understandable.
GPS issues.
Understandable.
Hey, and I don't blame them. You know, reality is it's growing pains. We're getting there. Corporate's involved. Tyler's involved. They're all looking at VPS options and whatnot. So
I'm not worried. I'm not
at
worried.
all. Neither am I. I've seen significantly more challenging times than this. So just always have a backup when you're trading. So Al, I will talk to you sooner than later. Okay, my
All
friend.
right. Thanks, Matt.
Hey, Bob. So we had somebody say gold was going up. I would agree at some point it will, but I'm not seeing it necessarily today. In today's, we're at what, 10:45? That's 11:45 your time, right, Al?
Yeah, that is correct.
So I don't see any massive moves that are going to be necessarily happening, although you can see after hours there are some moves that happen with gold because gold's a very, very finite tool. But I still think that the line of control is right here where our arrows are at, and that's at that 1840-ish, 1841, somewhere in that. I don't see a whole lot of just, ooh, I want to get into this yet. I definitely like the buy down in this area, down to 1831, but I'm not so sure we'll get down there. Our zone popped on 5-minute GU. Let's jump over to GU real quick. I like the fact that this thing is kind of moving somewhat quick now. Well, I spoke, and just as soon as it does, it's got me locked down again. It'll catch up. $332 pips, nicely done. NAS 100. Al, what is the NAS 100?
That's NASDAQ.
Okay. 332 pips. Very well done. Pound US. Let's jump to pound real quick. See what we got. Yeah, I still think you had an option on this one. I mean, obviously the overall picture, if I'm not mistaken, we've looked at so many today, is long. But that doesn't mean you can't have a counter trend strategy. It does not mean that at all. You just have to know what your rules are going to be before you do those counter trend strategies. And I think that this is as good as any place to buy if you wanted to buy. I mean, it doesn't mean you're going to win, but it's still in the money zone. We still have an overall uptrend. We are at yesterday's low.
And it's range bound.
And it's range bound. Yeah. And we have a level on a level, what we call level on a level, when we see those two areas of support together. So that's why my stop is below it.
You see, this last wick actually went pretty deep into that first green level,
Yeah.
but it also got a pretty strong rejection. but also
Al, did you take a second position on this?
which one are we looking at here? The British
Pound
US.
US.
I did not yet.
Okay.
I was pending the. I looked real hard at it, and I thought I'm just going to wait a little bit more still.
Got it.
Jump over to the Swiss, Kiwi Swiss, if it'll let me. See what that looks like. What I love about AIRO, and again, I'm definitely not the guru here. That would be more of Al and Matt, and Charles as well, because you're obviously paying attention. But I can quickly look at a chart and go yes or no, and this is a no. I don't have to think about it. We're sitting on top of a resistance line with an up arrow. Much rather had this one. But again, you have to look at your overall trend. And we're pretty much, we're not equal, but we're pretty close.
Actually, on this, you're looking at a different one. Okay, I was talking.
This is Kiwi, Kiwi Swiss, I should say.
Okay. We actually have a little bit of divergence on the 5-minute chart on that British US dollar. So that divergence could be the turnaround point for the going to the upside.
Let's pop it over and see what it looks like. It's always good to learn. What else are you going to do? I mean, that's a W forming, guys, strategy. Yeah, you see W's. M's and W's.
Yep.
M's and W's. My class at school really laughs at me because they're all into a Harry Potter or Wimpy Kid, all these books. And Mr. White, we never see you read stories. I said, nope. And every time I break out a book, it has to do with finances. I read Compound. They wanted me to read the Compound Effect by Hardy. I started reading that to them, and they just kind of got real bored real quick.
You think?
I thought it was great. I got a little reading in for myself, a little bit of self-benefit, but I took pictures of my library in here, and it's all you've got. Principles of Money. You got Dave Ramsey in here, Beyond Wealth. I got the recent book by Charles Payne.
For those of you who have kids, I had a technique with when we were watching some kids and there were time for them to lay down and take a nap. I'd put the Wall Street Journal report on the TV and they'd be out like a light.
It's a gift. Yeah,
it works. It works.
That's funny. I was trying to figure out why they even wanted to know about the compound effect, but I pretty much within 10 minutes they were just like fiddling with their pencils, they were racing, they were drawing. I got a chapter done before I turned it back over. And today would have been our stock market day. We had a time set aside, 30 minutes today, to complete our watch list. What are they going to watch? And got iced in, so here I am.
Well, we're glad to have you here today, Brian. It's nice having you being able to help out.
I love looking at charts like this because the first thing my eye does is go to where is the key price action, and right where our I guess that would be, in this case, this is the pound US, right where our target is at is actually a key line of price action. 38, 36, 30, which would be at 35, because you can see it was resisted here, and you always look back, and I can almost bet that stop is going to have some other, yeah, look at all that right there. Couldn't get down there. It was all over that. Those are powerful areas. Of course, I'm on the 5-minute chart, so, but that line will still be a key area. And that's what revolutionized the way that I traded. Is I got rid of all the noise. I got rid of all the indicators. I got rid of all that stuff. And I went to, okay, back to the basics. Because when I was doing finance stuff, we didn't see charts. We pretty much had a buy order, and we didn't look at charts. We did price. So I was very unfamiliar, but I started realizing key points in price action. That's what built the strategy that you're pretty much looking at right now. When this came out, I got a hold of Nate almost immediately and said, hey, dude, this is what I've been doing. I've been doing this on my own for years, and it's so much like it. I mean, not exactly all the strategies, not exactly the same, But if you see my charts that I teach on Monday night manually, it looks a lot like this. It's amazing how if you just let things be and you start seeing the order inside of chaos, that everything seems to come back to the same thing. And AIRO kind of really ties it all together. I am from the Dallas-Fort Worth area, David, where ice on streets is a dream for everyone, because that means we go nowhere. Yeah, it's kind of fun. Gold just jumped. Let's go look at it.
And also I did enter another buy position on the British US just to pretty much average a little bit down.
Yeah.
Looks like it's heading back up again to that zone that we talked about earlier, and I won't give it a whole lot of room, but just to help add a little bit to the pot here.
Let me blow this up a bit so we can actually see what it's doing on this chart. You said gold. Addison. Yeah, I've flown into Addison a couple of times. Busy airport. I used to fly privately, just fly city to city. Addison's a nice booming town. It's surrounded by everybody now. Gold just jumped a little bit. I mean, it seems to me jump downward. If anything, you can see it's digging down a little bit more. And didn't we mention 1831 or something like that as our place to?
Let's see. I was looking at for 1830. Well, there was if it breaks 1832, it may go a little bit lower still, but we're right in that demand zone where we're looking to where the buyers are coming back in again. It may go down a little bit deeper.
I think I mentioned 1831 is where I'd want to be a buyer at.
Yeah. 1831, 1832-ish area would be
and you said if I double click it, it will turn white and I can drag it. I'm clicking the hound out of it. I'm gonna leave it right there though. I see it. I see those little lines now that you're talking about. There we go. Look at you, Al. I don't care what the rest of the room thinks of you. I like you. I'm just playing. That's really where I'd want to be a buyer at. That's a good price right there. Maybe 131.10, 131.25. But right now the pressure is the other way.
Let's see. Right now it's pretty much testing the money zone.
Yeah, the bottom, right? Like back here. Is that what you're talking about? Back here?
Yeah. Yep. Or is that making a new lower for the money zone?
It's making now a new lower.
It's making new lowers. Yep. We're also coming to the end of the money zone. Another few more minutes, another hour, I guess, or so. We'll be out of it'll be time for this.
So your money zone ends at what time Eastern?
Mine ends at, let me see. I always have to recalculate
we're almost 11 o'clock here Central.
Yeah.
1 p.m. Eastern.
1 p.m. Eastern. So at noon hour, this shaded area stops. So we are making new lows for the day. And I said 131, between 131 and 131.20. Yeah, I like the bottom fetish. Let's squeeze the bottom, as we say in Hawkeye. What would be your take profit and stop loss if you get in that gold buy today? Al, you're more of the gold. You and Eva are. I don't trade gold very often. What's the bag theory on that? Is that five?
Well, the bag they use say $10 stop, $10 stop, $5 target. Okay, if you have the bag entry, yeah.
So let's see. That would look like. Let's pull this up here and play a bit just for a second, since we have a time to do so. So we would say gold. And I'm going to risk, let's just say 3%, on a $1,000 account. And I would put my risk at what, Al?
Risk for the gold, this chart says on a 5-minute chart, a
100?
100. Yep.
I see how it gives you the hints too. I forgot we put those in there. So my standard risk would be that. And it would tell me the proper position size for this account. So if I were to come in here, and I'm going to do it just for fun because that's a demo account, I would come in. And since I'm there, I'm going to go ahead and play like I'm doing this. I'd come in, and I'm actually going to do half of that because that count's not 1,000 yet. So I'm going to put 0.02, and I'd buy if it'll let me. And I let it usually wait a second because sometimes it'll click. Let me change that back down and try again. It is really moving now. There we go. There's my buy. So what I would do to base myself on it, I would just come in here and I'd right click and walk me through this, Al. Once it gets there, I am going to take a 1,000. Is it a 1,000?
That'd be 1,000. I think if you put 1,000 in there, that should bring it down to about 18.
And this should be 500.
Correct. I think that'd be right.
So if I do that, it should be 1821.92.
So what was your entry? Your entry was 1832. Yeah. So 1832. Yep. So
and
20. Yeah, that's right. And
then notice how this bar turned to color. Now it's pretty much set and forget for me.
Yep.
Pretty much set and forget for me at this point. I am now in. Again, guys, this is demo. So don't do this.
It's more of a show you how to.
I just want to show you how you can quickly go in and enter a position and then modify your stop and your target to match your plan of attack. And I do like to, I wish I could, is there a way for me to scroll this up, Al?
Grab the end of the chart,
Here?
just do that.
That's fine. So it looks like I really don't want to have my stop necessarily this far down, but I've already planned and position size for it, so I'm going to leave it alone. I already know my max loss, and I'm okay with it. I don't have to worry about my stop. It's just like we talked about earlier. I don't have to worry about it. I can accept the loss of whatever I put in there. And if I can't, then I don't need to be trading.
Or you didn't position size properly.
What was that?
Or you didn't position size properly.
Right. That's the beautiful part about this tool. It's telling me the worst I'm going to do is $30. If I can't handle that, then I need to lower this risk down to 2. Okay. And that's okay. You can do that. That's pretty much what I did. I pretty much went down to 2 because of my account size was only 500. So I'm actually doing a whole lot more. And technically I should have probably been even lower than that. No, I was right on. 3%, 0.02. And that's what I took. So the most I can risk and lose on this particular trade, no matter what happens, if this comes down here, I lose a maximum of $15. I'm okay with that. I had no problem. That's what you got to do with trading, though. If you want success, you have to know what your amount is that you're willing to lose before you jump in. And that's why this thing, once they get that thing upboarded, how fast you can get your information. And normally I would just have it off to another screen to where I can play around with it. Yeah, gold is melting. Yeah, it is. It's melting, which is right through where I thought, but they've got a level on a level. We'll soon find out, you know. Let's see what we got back here. Always look left. This will be the tough one. This will be the tough one. I really don't like necessarily where my stop's at, but it is what the rule is. And so if I'm going to be wrong, I'm going to lose $15 on this particular account. It's a whole lot better than losing $200 and not having a clue of what I'm doing and guessing. And the power of compounding comes when you understand your balance. And as your balance does grow, you increase that position size. Just like in the back, I'm using Gearbox right now. I'm increasing it, seems like almost every week, the position size, because of the incredible growth that I have going on behind the scenes. Takes the emotion completely out of the trading. This, to me, I get all hyped up. And I don't like trading hype. I don't like feeling that way. It's fun, but I feel like I'm gambling. Alerts. Euro US sell and a Kiwi CAD
I'll take a look
buy.
at that one.
Yeah, let's go to Euro US and see what we got.
You go to Euro US, I'll go to CAD Swiss.
Sure.
And we'll see what we have.
You may beat me because this thing's seeming really slow.
CAD
There we
Swiss,
go.
CAD Swiss. That's over here. Ooh, CAD Swiss. Lots of
NZ CAD is what yours is going to be. And mine's a no-go.
I'm in an uptrend with a down arrow, no go. I don't think there's enough room for it anyway.
Are you on NZD CAD?
I'm on CAD Swiss.
Where'd you get CAD Swiss at?
That's the one on top of my list.
Oh, I don't have that one.
You don't have that one?
No.
Oh,
I have NZD CAD.
I don't have that one. I have NCD Swiss.
And you're probably using Lucrar.
Lucor, yeah. But
still, both of my alerts are no-goes.
let me see here. That was a bounce. There was a bounce. Here's an arrow, and
That one would have been better.
enough for a go. That's only looks like only 9 pips to the downside.
I was down $6 on gold. Now $2. Who knows? There's no way to predict it. There's no way to predict it.
So CAD Swiss is a no-go. It's not enough room to the downside. And then the other one I have was New Zealand Swiss, which you said you didn't have that one.
I had New Zealand CAD, and New Zealand Swiss is a buy right into a
Right into a red zone.
resistance. Yeah.
So I think with that, it's 12 o'clock. I think it's time to wrap this thing up for the day.
Fantastic.
I appreciate everybody.
Time went by fast, man.
I appreciate everybody sticking around for as long as you did. I appreciate that. Hopefully we were able to shed some, give you some good information on technicals and a variety of other things while we were waiting for the trades to come in. Again, thanks a lot. We will be today. We will not be
Hawkeye
here
tomorrow morning.
Hawkeye tomorrow morning, 7:30 to 9.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Charles. Thanks for all the help.
Thanks, Charles. Thanks for the help, Charles.
Yeah, no worries.
That was huge.
We'll see everybody then.